Up the war against Hamas, writing an offensive in Gaza City. It's calling up more troops, mobilizing tens of thousands of reservists. In Afghanistan, it's over 1,400 earthquake deaths as crews search for more trapped in rubble.
The Taliban government's asking for help from other nations and humanitarian aid groups. The U.S. and other countries have cut aid for Afghanistan, in part because of the Taliban's restrictions on women and girls and terrorism concerns.
That's Chris Foster. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
What Indianapolis police discovered in a park on Labor Day. Nothing on radar, 61 degrees in downtown Indianapolis, going up to 84. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 9:02. Indianapolis police found a newborn dead Monday afternoon at Brookside Park on the Near East Side.
I would say we're probably dealing with a drug-addicted parent, a homeless parent, maybe mentally ill parent, somebody that doesn't care, that they don't care about this child.
That's Monica Kelsey, founder of Safe Haven Baby Boxes. Safe Haven Baby Boxes wants to remind you that they have boxes all around so people that don't want their babies can drop them off anonymously with no questions asked. And Indianapolis police tell us they're still looking into this. Shots fired on the near northwest side last night.
And even though there were numerous people out on several porches, nobody is claiming to have seen anything.
That's IMPD Captain Don Weilhammer speaking to reporters near the intersection of Dr. Martin Luther King and West 30th Street.
It's extremely frustrating for us, and it makes it extremely difficult for a detective to solve a case like this.
And the man who was shot is in bad shape as police continue to look into this. Food insecurity is becoming more common across the Hoosier state, and one nonprofit is trying to meet the demand.
Midwest Food Bank Indiana has announced a new campaign to raise money for a new 50,000 square foot warehouse. They are calling the effort Under One Roof. The goal is to bring all the operations under one roof, which will allow them to be more efficient and serve more people in need. The organization says it's seen explosive growth and it's on track to distribute more than $74 million in food this year. They are just $500,000 away from their goal. Johnette Cruz, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
And you've probably already heard that Daniel Jones will be under center for the Indianapolis Colts when they have their home opener Sunday against the Miami Dolphins.
I think he's been a pro from the day he walked in here, the way he's worked. People have seen it throughout the building, his teammates, the coaches, and I think that adds to it. I'm a guy that's always prepared and ready to roll, and the way he works, that creates an edge in itself.
Head coach Shane Steichen, speaking to the media on Monday, says he's also excited about to see what running back Jonathan Taylor could do with Jones.
I think it's the way he works, goes about his business, his home run ability that he has. And I think it starts up front with offensive line, creating those creases for him, and the way he goes. It's how we go, too, as an offense.
And the Colts last won a home season opener September 8th, 2013, when Andrew Luck was quarterback against the Oakland Raiders. With traffic, here's Matt Bear.
All right, Ryan, southbound 6570 crash before Michigan Street. It's blocking the right lane, slowing us down to the north split. Crash north side, 86th Street at Keystone Crossing. And then north side, westbound 465, crash between Ditch and Michigan, blocking the right lane, slowing us down to Meridian. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies with nationwide LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now and get 60% off and free UPS shipping. Use code RADIO for an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Drexel Interiors, the place to go for upgrading your kitchen, bath, or flooring. Schedule your free design consultation at drexelin.com or visit their showrooms today. Go where the pros go.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Kirby Heating and Air, your American Standard air dealer, serving Hendricks and surrounding counties.
Looking at your weather forecast today is going to be clear. No rain in the forecast at all. Right now, 61 degrees on Monument Circle. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go. And at WIBC.com, Kendall and Casey starts right now.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
All the things you could start our show with. You want to start with this?
I don't want to. But I think we have to mention it because it did go national and viral at the same time.
Look, there's so many great things going on in our city. What with the lack of violence and the smooth roads and incredible planning. And I mean, like, there's so many great things for us to talk about. And you want to talk about some uber embarrassing fight at the Walmart off the Keystone Avenue.
Yep. Brawl happened near the front of the store on Friday. You've seen the video. Everyone has seen the video. Heck, I was in the mid-Atlantic region of the country, and I saw the video.
Well, okay, so it is interesting that, and I was wondering about this because obviously it made national news and everybody picks it up, and how much of this is the instant media world that we live in? I mean, clearly these people are complete lunatics and totally out of control, and it's just another indictment of our, society and the devolving of our society. But you do wonder, like, would this 20 years ago have been national news? Like, hey, some townies got out of control at the Walmart, right? Would it have been national news 20 years ago? I don't know, but the fact that everything's on film and everything can be seen and everything can be shared instantaneously and everything can be uploaded to some sort of social media account, I think that plays a big role in these sort of embarrassing events becoming national news.
Well, and that's just it. Embarrassing. That's how I felt for Indianapolis when I saw this show up on my feed. So several people were at the Indianapolis Walmart. They were seen hitting one another near the front of the store located along Keystone Avenue on the city's north side. And this is just only a quick little smidge of the video because there were swear words. We can't play much of it, but here was just a portion of the commotion.
Walmart, Indianapolis, Indiana.
But you can hear people laughing, thinking that it's funny.
Well, that's the other part of this, right, is what I've dubbed them filmer guy, in which it's one thing to say I'm filming some event so that we'll have it for law enforcement to be able to decipher, who was the aggressor or who did what, to see a swift amount of justice, enforced on our humanity. But it's almost always some guy laughing or doing editorial commentary as they're filming. And it's not for any sort of justice. It's so that they can load it up to their Instagram account.
To get clicks and views.
Totally. And look, some person could theoretically be killed and they would still sit there and just watch and laugh and comment on it. And so you're right. It's just you can't go anywhere anymore, Casey.
Well, I mean, nothing says family drama like turning aisle 5 into a UFC octagon. Just imagine, though, you're with your children and you're just trying to go out, run some errands and do some shopping, and this breaks out. No arrests have been made, by the way, in that fight. So
how is that possible? It's on film.
Right? So we're just going to carry on. It reminded me of some of the 4th of July violence that happened in Indianapolis because there were people with their cameras rolling as they're running from the police thinking it's all just a big joke. It's just enabling the behavior is what it is.
How could it be on camera with eyewitnesses? I mean, look, like it's very clear. I'm watching it right now as we're doing this. And there's commenter guy who's, I guess, commenter guy appears to have put himself on camera with this one. And Walmart has cameras. The detail, there's even more detail on a Walmart camera than this guy would have had or the other videos that were shot. It's not like these people are DB Cooper where they just disappear into, some northwestern mountain range. How could there not be any arrests? How could we not know what's going on and have a swift apprehension? What day was this? Was this Friday? This took all these days run together. No, this was Friday. So Saturday, Sunday, Monday, we're on day 4, or at least as of right now, there have been no reported apprehensions. How is that possible?
How can it be stopped? That's the real question. How can this culture change? Why do these things keep happening? You see it all over the place.
Well, I think that's part of it is that I think it lies in filmer, editorial, laugher guy, where we just don't. I mean, it sort of comes back to Well, it's a variety of things. It comes back to the Indianapolis City County Council meeting the other night where, hey, we clearly have totally out of control youth violence in this city. We need to do something about it. Let's enact a curfew. And as a Republican said, why don't we put some penalties with said violation of curfew on the parents? And the Democrats just not only shot it down the end of the debate, and now that's not even a thing anymore.
Right. They don't even want to talk about it.
So you don't have a sense of obligation to one, parent, but also protect people protecting their kids. And then two, the backup to this should be society should say, okay, if you won't do it, then we will, and we're going to punish you for not doing it. But we won't even do that. So
but clearly that's not happening either.
No, there's nothing. There's nothing. And this is just going to keep happening. It's going to get more and more frequent. And you just can't you have to try, certainly in any sort of family structure, avoid Indianapolis at all costs at this point.
So the rollback deals aren't the only thing coming in hot at Walmart these days.
By the way, our guy, Indy Reporter, Steven, on the @Indy_Reporter_ account. By the way, he's at 6,900 followers. We need to get him to 7,000. That's my goal.
Is that the goal?
Maybe by end of business today, if you care at all about Indiana politics and government. He went downtown, was it yesterday?
Well, all weekend long, it looked like.
Yeah, and was filming the stuff going on. It's just, there's like, any sort of like family thing or small children or whatever, just don't come. This place is a cesspool at this point.
Well,
don't expose any small children or any sort of like family members or anything to the greater downtown Indianapolis area. It stinks.
Well, you said just don't come. It's getting harder and harder to actually even do that. I saw a sign, I've been detoured, redirected from my normal Washington route. And again, more closures happening today along Washington. And so I've been taking Michigan. Well, now there's a sign on Michigan that says starting September 2nd, this road will be closed. How am I supposed to get downtown? I can't use Washington. I can't use Michigan now.
Well, the clear goal has been the elimination of the automobile. And they're doing everything in their power, they being the Hogsett administration and this government. And when you have, it's interesting because you sort of have with the city of Indianapolis what's going on in Washington with the Republicans, different parties, but the same thing. And what I mean by that is the national Republicans are so afraid of Trump that every talking point becomes how much you've supported Trump rather than did I do what's right and did I support you, the constituent? Did I fight for you, the constituent? No, every mailer, every interview, everything is we did this for Trump, we did that for Trump. That's not your job. The same thing is happening in the city of Indianapolis.
Only for Hogsett?
We're Hogsett. Nobody will stand up to Hogsett. Nobody will push back on Hogsett. You're right. This is insane. It's maddening to try to get around. Like, I was driving in off 70 today, and as long as I can hit my exit to get to get off 70, so 79B. Can't do 79A anymore because they've totally shut that down because of that stupid bus line thing. But if I can get to 79B, but it's like 50-50 because of the traffic mess and 65 and the interchange and everything else, whether you can even get to 79B. And today, right, I could see in the distance because, I have the 2010 vision. I can see far into the distance. I can see the lights, the cars slowing down. It was like, oh, I'm not even going to get to 79A, and I had to get off exit 78, which you can still get to downtown. You can still get there, just like theoretically once upon a time on carriaged horse you could get across the country, but it was not anything you were looking forward to. It was not any sort of preferred or sought-after journey, and it just like the dread in my soul as I knew I was going to have to exit early, and it was just like, oh, no. And this whole downtown driving experience is exhausting, Casey.
It was like gambling when I left this morning. I had an alternate route just in case, but the sign says road will be closed between September 2nd and September 4th. Like, we don't know exactly when we're going to shut it down, but we're giving you like 48 hours time to figure it out. So when I left this morning, I thought, will it be closed? Can I use this road? I don't don't know. Let's see what happens.
Hey, I had a fascinating conversation with the magician over the weekend. Can we talk about it?
I can't wait to hear about this.
It
Was this when you were bartending over the weekend?
It was at the thing I was bartending, and I had a very interesting back and forth with the magician, and we were talking about magic.
Yeah.
But then I realized what he was saying totally applied to our politicians.
Okay.
How about that for a tease?
All right. We'll talk about that coming up from 93 WIBC.
Sun's up, the coffee is brewing, and Tony Katz is your morning information barista.
Tony Katz, good to be with you.
Clarity.
We're not interested in having this debate. We're only interested in honestly addressing the issue.
Context.
We should not present this in any other light. The objective is the destruction of Western civilization.
And a little caffeine.
Only the Constitution should rule.
Tony Katz in the morning news. Weekdays 6 till 9 on 93 WIBC.
Farnsworth Metal Recycling, a familiar face in Indy.
Farnsworth Metal Recycling will pay you cash for your scrap metal. Ray's Demolition and Farnsworth Metal Recycling may seem familiar to you, and that's because they are. They're trusted local family-owned businesses going back 3 generations in Indy with their familiar orange logo and a name you know. But you may not know they'll pay you cash for your scrap metal. Cash is king. Your scrap aluminum, steel, copper, and brass will get you cash from Farnsworth Metal Recycling. Just drop it off or schedule a pickup, and you'll put cash in your pocket. Ray's Demolition and Farnsworth Metal Recycling. Local names you can trust with 2 locations.
Farnsworth Metal Recycling, a familiar face in Indy.
Get cash for your scrap. Get started at farnsworthmetals.com.
The children of our nation know little to nothing about 9/11, but the Tunnel to Towers 9/11 Institute is righting this wrong by helping teachers educate kids in kindergarten through 12th grade. Their nonfiction first-person accounts are told through videos and the Discovering Heroes book series. The Institute offers full scripted curriculum units with background for teachers, a speakers bureau for classrooms, a mobile exhibit that's an interactive museum with 9/11 artifacts and FDNY guides. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at t2t.org.
At Advent, nasal congestion and sinus infections can be solved with an in-office 20-minute procedure. Elsewhere, expect surgery.
Kirby Heating. We have over 40 years of experience to help during your time of need. Call or go to KirbyHeating.com.
Kirby Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
So I had a fascinating conversation with the magician over the weekend.
What kind of tricks were they doing?
Okay, so, and I think we can extrapolate this out to politics.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Kendall Casey show. I'm Rob. That's Casey. As most of our listeners know, I've got the liquor license, which means I can, sling drinks with the best of them.
You're like Tom Cruise.
Yes, very much.
Cocktails and dreams.
And I did that because I went to work at the golf course, and that was part of it. But I've every so often, if you're interested, by the way, Rob at WIBC.com. Let me know about your private event, and you can book me to come to your event. And, a couple times a year or whatever now, I'll go do events for people. You can have the thrill of not only having a highly trained professional, but also Rob Kendall to impress your friends.
Sure.
That I'm at your event, and I will turn on all the charm and talk to your friends and politics or whatever. And so our good friends, actually friend of the show, Jason Sipe and his wife. We've had Jason on. Of course, Jason's very interesting in the fact that he was on with us because this has been about a year ago now, that he found out through a 23andMe DNA test that his dad was not his dad, and he found his actual
it's a magic trick in itself
biological father.
Yeah.
Every year they have a huge bash where they have all the friends on their street and then other friends and whatever come over to their house, and and they bring me in to be the part of the entertainment.
You and the magician.
And this year they had a magician.
Did anyone try and saw you in half? Were you levitating at all?
So the magician shows up, and I'm having just a little back and forth with him. 2 professionals just sitting there shooting the breeze, and I
Tradecraft.
I said, what is the key to a great trick? So how do you do a great trick? And he said, and this was fascinating, he said, the trick isn't the thing in magic. So the trick is irrelevant. He said it's the show.
Yeah.
And he said, look, there's all sorts of magicians I've seen who are actually really good magicians. They can do incredible tricks, but they're boring. And they can't, they don't move on past doing, birthday parties or whatever. And then he said, I've seen guys who are actually horrible magicians, but they're wildly entertaining.
They're showmen.
And they do they do big, events, corporate events. They go, on tour or whatever. And I was thinking about that. I was like, that's so interesting because that's sort of our politics and government now.
Sleight of hand.
Yeah, where the actual competency of the magician, or in this case, the politician or the policy itself, it doesn't even matter anymore. You can have great public policy. You can have great ideas. You can be really good at trying to get good stuff done. But we're such a look at me culture now that unless you bring a lot of razzle dazzle to the thing, you don't even get noticed. And there's a good chance you don't even get elected anymore. And so look at what's going on in our country. All of these things, everything is a show now. Everything has to be a show. Everything has to be, let me one up the guy in front of me. Look at me, look at me, look at me. And thus we get the government that we get because everything is about being seen rather than actually doing a good job.
Well, many people have said over the past couple days that our president, Donald Trump, is performing his own disappearing act. And he has an announcement at 2 o'clock today coming from the Oval Office. And again, to your point, I believe that's all part of the show. Whatever he's going to talk about, whatever it is. There's been a lot of speculation about what the topic is going to be. It could be many topics, knowing Donald Trump. But it is part of the show, the fact that he has had some self-control and withheld from saying anything that has gotten people's attention. What is he going to talk about? He's changing the conversation based on his inaction.
Yeah, if you think about the most competent thing that the Trump administration has done in the last 8 months, it's the bombing of Iran. And think about how that easy that went because they didn't say anything to anybody. They didn't broadcast it. They didn't make it a big speech. They just went and did the thing and then said, okay, that's done. Thanks. And they would be able to get, I think, so much more done if everything was done in that fashion. Like even the border stuff, which is done well, everything's a show. It's Homeland Security Barbie going out places and giving speeches. I mean, it's just like the whole thing with Trump is always about, look at us, look at me. He's giving the Congressional Medal of Freedom to Rudy Giuliani. That guy is a complete dirtbag. Like, yeah, he was amazing on 9/11, and he did a wonderful job as mayor of New York taking down the mafia. But look at Rudy Giuliani's post-elective life. It is, I mean, the final image is some guy with hair dye just
dripping down
the side of his face. And, he's at, was it the Borat movie or what? Like it's just, was it the Borat? That was the Sacha, I don't know if it was Borat, but it was isn't he in one of the Sacha Baron Cohen movie? Like the whole thing is ridiculous. But in our society now, everything has to be what sort of headlines are we going to garner? And I just thought that was a fascinating thing, that in magic as in politics, the competency doesn't matter. The trick doesn't even matter. It's how many people can you get to look at you and be entertained in the process.
Well, we've been saying for quite a while, it's all dinner theater, right?
Yeah.
And that's it. Look at the redistricting.
No, it's a perfect example. Nothing is about, and at least Andrew Ireland came in and admitted it, that there's no actual need to do this. He's the one guy who will say it out loud. It's all purely political. It doesn't help you.
No, it's just a get even.
Yeah, it doesn't help you in any shape, form, or fashion. And so we are wasting, across this country, infinite amount of time and taxpayer resources for what? For what? To net 1 or 2 seats, 3 seats when it's all said and done for one political party? It's just these are all purely political exercises. And look at who's benefiting out of it. In California, Gavin Newsom, as we talked about, his approval rating amongst Democrats is skyrocketing. He's getting rewarded, even though they have an independent commission who was put in place by the voters. The maps, by the way, I'm going to do a little math here on the air. I think, and we'll look this up during the break, I think 43 of, because we hear how rigged California is, right? Oh, it's gerrymandered out the wazoo. I think 43 of their 52 congressional seats, I think that's the number, are Democrat. So if you take 43 and divide it by 52, that's 82% of their seats are Democrat. If we take 7 of Indiana's 9 congressional seats, which are Republican, and you do the math on that, it's 78%. So for all this huffing and puffing from people like the governor or these other politicians who are talking about how rigged California is, they're at 82, we're at 78. If you took 8 and divided it by 9, that would get you to 89%. So you're going to rig your state more than California when you're basically even right now. So for all the huffing and puffing, all the Democrats are shady and they do the, you're doing the same thing here. You're doing the exact same thing here. It's basically even, but you can't stand it. You're exactly right, Casey. The further gerrymandering, the further rigging of the districts is the perfect example of exactly what I'm talking about.
Well, Braun seems to be deferring, though, all of the decisions to Todd Houston and Rod Bray.
He defers on everything.
Right?
He gave in on the property tax thing. We'll just let Thompson write it. We'll let Jeff Thompson, the head of Ways and Means, write it. Sure, it was my signature issue. I ran all over the state on it. It was the top thing I talked about everywhere I went. But at the end of the day, I'm just going to let I think he was a math teacher, some former math teacher, write something that nobody understands, no one can comprehend, and most people who finally were able to dig into it said it absolutely stinks. But that's what Braun does on everything. He defers on everything.
So Jim Baird came out and he said that he supports the redrawing of the congressional maps. And is this more dinner theater?
Jim Baird is the 4th congressional district Republican representative. So that's my district, the western part of the state of Indiana. He must see something in the maps that he likes.
Well, when he was asked, why don't we just wait until the 2030 census, he said that migration already justifies early redistricting.
Wait. We got to pause and talk about this because let's talk about the migration to the state of Indiana. There is none. There is none. Let's take a pause and talk about that when we come back, shall we?
It's Kendall Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Texting enrolls you into reoccurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text SAVVY to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text SAVVY to 42424. That's SAVVY to 42424.
Well, summer's still hot, and so are the deals at Tom Roush Lincoln. Right now, get 0% for up to 48 months on 2025 Lincoln Aviator and Nautilus, or 0.9% for 72 months on 2025 Grand Touring Corsair. Or how about a $50,000 Lincoln Corsair from just $499 per month? So come get one of those hot summer deals at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers.
MSRP $52.20, 36-month term, $2,500 due at signing, $499 a month, 10,500 miles per year. Good through 9/2/25.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
There's another way, even if you feel hopeless, she says. Mostly sunny and 62 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. I'm John Herrick. Here's what's trending at 9:30. A baby was found dead Monday afternoon at Brookside Park on the Near East Side of Indianapolis. It's cases like this that prompted Monica Kelsey, founder of Safe Haven Baby Boxes, to try and find a way to protect babies.
We see tragedy all of the time. We see the worst of people and we see the best of people. What I train on this is we're not going to save every abandonment enforcement, but what we can do is educate so this mother knows that it's out there.
She says parents can take their child to a Safe Haven baby box if they don't feel that they can meet the child's needs. The Polish CEO, caught on video stealing an autographed hat from a child at the U.S. Open, says he's sorry. Piotr Cherek was last seen last Thursday grabbing the hat and quickly stuffed it into a bag. He was immediately identified and criticized on the internet for that. Cherek apologized Monday to the boy and said he thought the hat had been autographed for his own children and says he made a huge mistake. A Pennsylvania father say he rescued a boy from an elevated monorail track at Hershey Park over the weekend. John Sampson says he was able to reach the terrified child by getting on the roof of a nearby ice cream stand.
On the side of it, there's a fence. I climbed up on that, balanced on that, climbed up on the roof from there, and then it was a straight shot from there.
The boy was okay and reunited with his parents. And your opening bell report on 93 WIBC, brought to you by Absolute Wealth Management, LLC. So far, stocks taking a beating. The Dow is down 524 points to 45,020. The S&P 500 down 89 points at 6371. And the NASDAQ down 400 points at 21,055. I'm John Herrick on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
The IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship is back at the racing capital of the world. This sports car racing event, September 19th through 21st, is different than anything you've seen at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Sunday the 21st, it's the TireRack.com Battle on the Bricks. And now the race runs 6 hours. The paddock is open for fans all weekend long. Infield camping opportunities make this a can't-miss weekend. Kids 15 and under are free with a paid adult. Get your tickets at IMS.com.
Hey, listen to this. All I needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things. Like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed.
From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Fair in Indiana, but Washington insiders want to cheat. They want taxpayers to spend millions to redraw legislative maps approved just 4 years ago. That's not democracy. It's a power grab, and they're hoping you won't notice. Thankfully, some of our leaders are saying no to D.C. politics. Tell politicians Hoosiers don't cheat. Protect our votes and get back to focusing on our real problems. Join the team at playfairindiana.com. Paid for by Indiana Conservation Voters.
When it comes to retirement, it's not just what you've saved, it's what you keep that matters. Howard Bailey Financial invites you to join our free educational event featuring nationally recognized IRA expert and CPA Ed Slott, where he will focus on strategies to help reduce unnecessary taxes, avoid common mistakes, and plan smarter for the years ahead. This event is ideal for anyone in or nearing retirement who wants to make the most of what they've saved. Reserve your spot at the Forum in Fishers on Thursday, September 11th by calling or texting ED to 888-262-1104. Space is limited, so reserve your spot today by calling or texting ED to 888-262-1104. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
Drexel Interiors, the place to go for upgrading your kitchen, bath, or flooring. Schedule your free design consultation at drexelin.com or visit their showrooms today. Go where the pros go.
I don't say this lightly, Casey.
What?
But I think we've only got two options here with Congressman Jim Baird.
What's that?
Either he is a pathological habitual liar, or he doesn't know his head from his ass.
Either one don't really exude confidence, do they?
Because the facts on the ground don't appear to be in any way, shape, or form consistent with these idiotic statements he has made involving immigrations. Kendall Casey show, I'm Rob, that's Casey. So Jim Baird is a congressman from the 4th Congressional District. That's the western part of the state. He is a Republican. Jim Baird is a great example of how, and I always said this about McCain, you can salute someone's service in the military and then just loathe everything about them as a politician. Just because someone served their country, you are not obligated to smooch either of their butt cheeks at any time as it relates to their elected life. And Jim Barrett has been rotten as an elected official, both as a state rep and now as a U.S. representative, in almost every shape, form, and fashion. He's a total establishment, just squish. He does whatever he's told to do. There is just 0 point in him being there. And so he came out, clearly he has gotten the marching orders, right, from the Trump administration in support of this redistricting. And basically, correct me if I'm wrong, he's not only in support, but he tried to blame it on, what was it, on population growth? Or what did he try? What reason did he come up with that we needed to do without saying this is a totally political action?
Well, when he was asked why not wait until the 2030 census, he said that migration already justifies early redistricting. And this from WIBC.com, he said, I think it's important that we make sure that we have people represented in those districts and they have appropriate representation. I think President Trump won Indiana the last time. Yes, President Trump did win Indiana.
That's right.
Don't need to ponder it. But he said he thinks Trump won Indiana last time very well. So we want to make sure that we have input from those voters that want to know where the country's headed.
Okay, so we already had input from those voters. The state has not changed that much since 2020, 2021, 22, when the data was compiled, the maps were drawn. Trump has won Indiana all 3 times, and there's never been some outcry about there being a 7-2 split until now. And by the way, that's not how this works. Like, there are 9 Republican reps, I believe, currently in California. Kamala Harris overwhelmingly won the state of California. I don't hear these Republicans going, oh, just give Kamala Harris all the seats in California. In fact, they're having a conniption fit over the fact that California is pondering redrawing their districts. So I want to do a little math here for the congressman because, again, I'm leaning towards, I would never want to accuse somebody of being a habitual pathological liar, especially not a distinguished politician like Mr. Baird. So the only logical explanation once I lay these facts out to you is he doesn't know his head from his ass. So if someone, maybe his head is up his own ass, maybe somebody needs to remove it, whatever. This man needs immediate help. So I put into the Google machine information on Indiana's population change between 2020 and 2024. And this, not only did I get it from AI, I did some research on various other news articles, and it appears that AI's information is correct, that it is mostly backed up by news articles of the day, shall we say. And according to AI, Indiana's population has increased 138,396 people between 2020 and 2024. That is from 6,785,528 to 6,924,275. Now, obviously, that's not an exact number, but it'll get you in the ballpark. So if you take public school math will teach you that if you take 138,396 and you divide it by our total number of 6,924,275, you get basically a roughly 2% population increase. 2%.
Yeah.
That's it. We're talking 138,396. At least Texas can say we got 5 million people coming in. There's no massive migration to the state of Indiana. Although, Casey, what do you think, in terms of the people who have come here, what do you think artificial intelligence listed as the key factor of those coming to the state of Indiana?
Oh. Jobs?
International migration. Yeah. People coming from foreign countries, Casey. That's who's leading to the surge in population in the state of Indiana. So Congressman Baird is telling you that because of a 2% population shift, most of it coming from people from foreign countries, he believes we need to redraw all the maps in the state of Indiana.
Yeah, you definitely have a lot of pressure mounting from different national conservative groups to do this. The thing that I find interesting, and I think we should discuss this. As of Friday, before the holiday weekend, it has been reported that Governor Braun has not spoken to House Speaker Todd Houston or Senate President Pro Tem Rod Bray about this.
No way.
You don't think they've had
there's no
any
way.
conversations
No,
about
there's
this?
there's no way they haven't talked about this. There's absolutely no way that they don't. I mean, they got to move quick.
Mm-hmm.
This is such a massive issue that he's. Well, look, we've already caught. How many lies have we caught Braun in already? Including on this one, where he initially is like, "Oh, it'll be 150,000," and now he's coughed
And then
up.
he changed it.
Yeah, what was it with Hammer and Nigel?
250 to 350,000.
Yeah. So you're led to believe the governor doesn't know how much a special session is going to cost. And then somebody just gives him the information after he's already talking about calling the special session. And now it's basically 3 times what he said it was going to be. But, I mean, we caught him in the lies on the property tax thing. So, no, of course not. They've totally talked about this. They already know, or I think have a very good idea of exactly what they're going to do. There's no way I see them standing up to Trump and not doing this. I think they're trying to figure out the best. Well, when.
Well, the next regular session begins in January.
Well, they got to go way before that because you got people that are filing to run for Congress.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have to do this within the next. You're going to have an announcement. I would say within the next 2 weeks, you're going to have an announcement. I cannot see them telling Trump to go F himself. And I cannot see, but I think they're trying to figure out how do we do this with the least amount of political damage. I don't think Houston and Bray want any part of this. There's no win in it for them because they don't represent in Washington. It's going to create a bunch of very angry people that could potentially punish them in the midterms at the state house level. And their rank and file aren't even vehemently for this. Now, they may do it begrudgingly, but if you're a state rep or a state senator, why are you going to take the political fall so that we can have another? I mean, this is what we're talking about. You're going to have another Jefferson Shreve in northwestern Indiana, because that's no matter how they draw that district, it's going to take some squish moderate Republican to get across that district because it'll still be heavily Democrat. So this is the question I keep asking people. Is just destroying your integrity, because people do the mental pretzel twisting to make this thing work, is destroying your own integrity, is it worth it for one more Jefferson Shreve? Is that really worth all of this? Will you really see that much difference if you get one more Shreve or Messmer or whoever up there in that district? The answer to me is a resounding no.
So Braun is encouraging individual lawmakers to voice their views first, and then they'll determine if they're going to call this special session. He said that he's the most accessible governor probably ever, but he won't initiate the conversations himself. That to me is really lack of leading.
There's a we could never play this. There is the perfect line to describe Mike Braun. I will use the term stick.
Uh-oh. Okay.
In the movie Ghostbusters, the first one, the original, the best one, they're in the Walter Peck character. I assume most people in our audience have seen the movie Ghostbusters, but there's this environmental protection guy. His name is Walter Peck, and he shuts the ghost containment unit down that flees all the ghosts into the city, and there's mass chaos, and they end up in the mayor's office. And he's ranting on some ridiculous thing about if you turn the Ghostbusters loose to the mayor, the calamity, and blah, blah, blah. And finally, he goes on, says a bunch of stuff, and the mayor looks at the room and goes, "Is this true?" And Bill Murray, who plays Peter Venkman, one of the Ghostbusters, goes, "I'm afraid it is true, Your Honor. This man has no stick." Except he doesn't use the word stick. Right. And that is Braun. This man has no stick.
He's going to wait. He's going to wait to be told that he's calling a special session.
That is the new line of the Kendall and Casey show to describe Mike Braun. This man has no stick. Because he stands for nothing. He never leads. He always lets everybody else do it. And then when you ask him to explain it, it's the guy is pathetic. It's ridiculous.
It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel show back at it this afternoon. We get a long weekend to recap the biggest stories in Indy. Let's have a day. 93 WIBC.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
Guy Relford here. Time again for the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show this coming weekend at the State Fairgrounds, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. There's never been a more important time to exercise our rights as true Americans. It's the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show. See the best in sporting, hunting, and personal protection gear, plus great displays of Americana. Come see us this weekend at the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show, Friday 2 to 7, Saturday 9 to 6, and Sunday 9 to 4. It's the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show. See you there.
Attention, Indiana homeowners. Are you tired of avoiding your wet basement? Hi, I'm Mike Smith with Swanco Crawl Space and Basement Repair, your real, local, Indiana family-owned experts. Imagine all the possibilities of a guaranteed dry basement, a cozy new family room, a home gym, or even a new office. And with no interest, no payment financing, you don't have to break the bank to do it. Make the most of your basement today. Call Swanco 317-407-1868 or swancollc.com.
At Community Health Network MD Anderson Cancer Center, you'll talk with an oncologist within 48 hours of your diagnosis, so you won't have to wait to start finding answers.
They got me in pretty quickly to meet my team. They gave me the plan and what they knew and what they wanted to do. I was really impressed with the care team and the approach they took.
Learn more about Community MD Anderson at ecommunity.com/cancer.
Don't wait to hear it from someone else.
I says, oh yeah? And she says, yeah, that's right.
The WIBC Daily Newsletter brings you the headlines, videos, and moments everyone will be talking about next.
So there's a new poll out, and people, what are you telling me? People believe life is getting more expensive?
Vast majority of Americans say life is getting pricier under Trump.
You know why they think that, Casey?
Why is that?
Because it is.
Because things are getting expensive.
Because it is.
Yeah, so let's talk about some of the key findings. 45% say the economy has worsened since January of 25.
Who did the poll, does it say?
It is Scripps News Talker Research poll.
Oh, okay, very good.
Yeah. 38% believe it has improved, and there's a 46% disapproval of Trump's performance.
Okay, can you say those stats again so I'm processing all of them?
45% say the economy has worsened since January of 25.
Does it say what percentage think it's improved?
38%.
Okay, so he's underwater on that.
Mhm.
They think things are getting more expensive. Is that correct? Do we have a number on that?
39% cite inflation prices as the most pressing issue.
Yeah, okay.
Followed by immigration, healthcare, crime, and threats to democracy.
Yeah, okay, very good. And then there was one other stat I feel like he gave there.
Disapproval rating,
very good.
46%.
Does it say what the approval number is?
The approval rating is at 43.
Okay, so 46 disapprove.
Mhm.
Okay, very good. So he's and we have seen that approval number be as low as 40. We've seen it as high as 45. 43 seems like right in the middle of, as we talk about polling as a snapshot of a moment in time. 43 seems in the middle. That seems somewhat legitimate. So if we work off that, let's just, for the sake of us two cackling hens here, operate that the rest of the information is sort of in the sweet spot as that approval number seems to be. This is the egregious mistake Trump made because now he can't undo it, which is that this big bullcrap bill focused on, and I saw an article over the weekend talking about all this freebies and giveaways and special interest stuff that are in this bill. They always act like it's for you. It's all for you. No, most of it is not for you. Most of it is usually not for you. It's almost never for you. The mistake he made is he has not focused on the things that make life more affordable. In fact, he's doing the exact opposite of making life more affordable, which is A, the tariffs, and B, to try to make you think the tariffs aren't hurting the economy. He's going to print a bunch of money or make money more affordable, quote unquote affordable, which means the uber rich people, it'll cook the economy to offset the tariffs. Didn't we just not too long ago let's get in the way back machine. Let's go back to 2020. Didn't government take dramatic action that harmed the economy, like, shut it all down? And in order to make you think that shutting society down wouldn't harm the economy, they printed a bunch of money. And then what happened as a result of that?
We're still paying for it today.
Exactly. And they're about to, it's all
do it again.
It's, as one man once said, it's all happened before.
I've seen this show
It'll
before.
happen again.
Yeah.
They're doing the same thing. And this is what Trump's either not understanding or just doesn't care or what, I don't know. But until you figure out a way to make life more affordable, and on top of that, now you've got things like property taxes that have never been higher. You got the utility bills that have never been higher.
Yes.
So all the food, rent, all that stuff. But now the government's getting involved in it, and people are going to be pissed about this because that's what you ran on. The signature reason Trump was elected, yes, things like immigration were a part of it. But the signature issue was life is unaffordable under Joe Biden. You've got to do something to fix this. And he's doing the exact opposite.
Yeah, the only thing dropping faster than his approval rating is the size of groceries in your cart for $100. So, and that is the top issue. When asked about everyday goods like groceries and clothing, 38% of people said items are much more expensive. 35% said somewhat more expensive. And only 2% of people said it was less expensive.
Yeah, and he's getting bad advice if indeed people are advising him that this is not the issue, because there's nothing they're doing that would lead you to believe this is the most pressing issue for them. Look, it's not an easy game, especially the mess. Well, the mess that Trump put us in during COVID. Trump is the reason we're in this mess. Look, you can blame Biden, and he, of course, then continued it, but we should expect that from him. People are always like, why are you so mean to the Republicans? You never do it to the Democrats. I know what the Democrats are. Do I need to give you, our very informed audience, a crash course that Democrats tax and they spend? But they tell me they're going to do that. Why would I be mad that some guy who did the thing he said he was going to do did the thing he said he was going to do? The Republicans are the ones who lie. They're supposed to be the party of low taxes and limited government. Trump is the one who advocated full throttle, full freight ahead to shut the economy down during COVID. He was the one who advocated for the states to shut down. He was the one who advocated for the money printing. He was the guy who kept Fauci in charge. Look, I know that's going to make a bunch of people mad, and there are only Trump people who will be so angry they'll turn their radios right now. I don't care. Most of you are capable of hearing the truth. The reality is, every time Trump is in office, he grows government. He prints money. He does bizarre stuff that makes society more expensive.
Well, it does contribute to economic anxiety, which I believe a lot of people have. So the list came out of the jobs that are eligible for the no tax on tips, the deductions, right?
Oh, okay.
Are you ready for some of the careers that can
That
participate?
chair is so loud, Casey. Why is it so loud?
It's squeaky, isn't
There's
it?
no way that doesn't drive I'm not blaming you. I'm blaming this place. That chair is so damn loud.
Well, the other ones are so low to the ground.
I'm not blaming you.
I'm like a little kid that needs a booster suite.
Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry. I'll try to hear exactly what you're saying.
Okay, so these are people that are eligible for the no tax on tips.
Yes.
You've got bartenders, wait staff, cooks, dishwashers, hosts, bakers, cafeteria attendants, DJs, non-radio.
Oh,
sorry about your luck
well.
there. Musicians, dancers, performers, ushers, casino workers, content creators, and ticket takers. So you're talking about TikTok content creators can get no tax on tips.
So the question is, why are these people better than a police officer? Why are they better than a fireman? Why are they better than a carpenter? Why are they better than the guy working at Walmart? Why are they better than teachers? This is the question nobody will answer to me. You're just being negative. No, I want to know why. Everybody contributes to society. Everybody works. These people are paying taxes. Why are these jobs better? Why are they more important? Why is a TikTok person more important than a police officer?
Bellhops, concierge, housekeepers, hotel front desk, nannies, tutors, photographers, videographers, pet sitters, officiants, event planners, hairstylists, barbers, massage therapists, makeup artists, manicurists, tattoo artists, fitness instructors. The list keeps going. Golf caddies, tour guides, sports coaches, self-enrichment teachers. Pilots
stop.
for recreation tours.
Stop. You have to stop.
Okay.
Because
I could keep going.
I'm gonna do the thing. And you don't want me doing the thing.
No, I don't want you doing the
Monday
thing.
morning where I'm going to blow at a gasket, and we got 2 hours to work with each other to get through the remainder of this program. Why? Because it's legalized vote buying. That's exactly what it is. And if you're okay with this, you're okay with legalized vote buying. You're okay with people saying different work matters more. That's all this is. They don't like you. They're not doing it because they like you. They're doing it because they believe this will get enough people in these swing states, which is what this is targeted at, to vote for them. And what's it doing? It's maybe if your sympathy to the server will convince you to ignore the obvious, maybe this will get to you. Every dollar these people don't pay in taxes adds to our national debt. And it's not like they're offsetting it with spending cuts. So every dollar in taxes these people don't pay makes your groceries more expensive. There, maybe that will get you motivated to be pissed off about this. Every dollar these people don't pay, it isn't being offset with spending cuts. It's being offset by you paying more at the grocery store.
Well, here's a question I'm going to throw out at you. With legalized vote buying and what's going on with redistricting, does your vote even matter?
And the answer is no. Speaking of things being expensive, next hour, I'm going to tell you about buying a refrigerator.
Oh, goody.
Boy, howdy, does that suck.
It's Kendall Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Kids back in school and out of your hair? Now it's time to take care of yours. Hope Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling has an offer that will help give you the softest hair, skin, and nails, plus give life to your appliances and fixtures. Yes, we're talking about water softeners. For the month of September, Hope will give you $500 off the purchase of a water softener plus carbon filter. So give yourself the gift of soft water and call Hope Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling today.
Grown-ups, don't go back to school. Go forward through school into your future as an IT professional. Whether you're starting out, switching careers, or a veteran ready for change, My Computer Career can help you get into IT in just a few short months with no prior experience. So take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Your rewarding career in IT awaits. That's mycomputercareer.edu, an elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the VA benefits.
Well, summer's still hot, and so are the deals at Tom Roush Lincoln. Right now, get 0% for up to 48 months on 2025 Lincoln Aviator and Nautilus, or 0.9% for 72 months on 2025 Grand Touring Corsair. Or how about a $50,000 Lincoln Corsair from just $499 per month? So come get one of those hot summer deals at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers.
MSRP $52.20, 36-month term, $2,500 due at signing, $499 a month, 10,500 miles per year. Good through 9/2/25.
Big Joe for your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, Kirby Heating and Air Conditioning. Owner Robert Kirby says Mitsubishi mini splits are a great option for heating and cooling sunrooms, garages, basements, or that new home office.
The mini splits are great for places that we don't have a lot of room for duct work. We can hide them in the ceilings, integrate them into the walls, or even sometimes behind walls.
See what Kirby can do for you at KirbyHeating.com. Kirby Heating and Air Conditioning is your American Standard Mitsubishi Electric Elite Ductless Pro dealer.
Hello, I'm Joe Cordell, founder of Cordell & Cordell. Divorce is complicated, especially when your small business or professional practice is involved. At Cordell & Cordell, we understand that these assets raise unique valuation and allocation issues. For 35 years, we've helped doctors, lawyers, and small business owners navigate divorce with confidence. Call us at Cordell & Cordell. Let me tell you, I understand on a personal level, your business is much more than a job. It's your legacy.
101 West Ohio, Indianapolis. CordellCordell.com.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recycler Studios, what a new report says about the way Indiana treats its senior citizens. Those stories and much more coming up after Fox News Radio at the top of the hour. You are listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis, and it's now 10 o'clock.
He claims Chicago is the murder capital of the world. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. President Trump also posted on Truth Social it's the worst and most dangerous city in the world, and he'd solve the crime problem like he did in Washington.
No federal troops in the city of Chicago.
That's Mayor Brandon Johnson.
No militarized force in the city of Chicago.
Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker, also a Democrat, vows to sue if there's a Trump National Guard deployment in Chicago.
D.C. is under federal jurisdiction, meaning the president didn't need city leaders to greenlight the National Guard's role in the interagency crackdown here. But everywhere else, the president would need the cooperation of state governors to have the military enforce domestic law under Title 32. If the states don't want to play ball, the president could still send in the National Guard under Title 10. But as Pritzker said, their duties would be limited to protecting federal property under Passe Comitatus. That is, unless the president invokes the Insurrection Act.
Fox's Jackie Heinrich at the White House. A short time ago, a federal judge ruled the president violated the law sending troops to Los Angeles to deal with protests back in June against federal immigration raids. The Trump administration disputes that, saying troops were protecting agents, not enforcing laws. Congress returns from summer break today to deal with funding the government to avert a shutdown next month and confirming more Trump nominees. They'll also continue the Jeffrey Epstein investigation. And tomorrow, Congressman Thomas Massie, a Republican, and Ro Khanna, a Democrat, plan to hold a news conference with victims of Epstein's underage sex trafficking.
Massie and Khanna have a bipartisan bill that would compel the release of the Epstein files. The Trump administration has vowed to release the grand jury testimony related to the convicted sex trafficker and his associate, Ghislaine Maxwell. And the Justice Department is currently redacting names of victims and other sensitive information.
That's Fox's Ryan Schmelz. The search through rubble continues in Afghanistan, where the number of earthquake deaths tops 1,400, another 3,000 people injured. The Taliban government is asking for international help. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
They're disgusted by what they found, but there's still more to do. Mostly sunny and 66 degrees on Monument Circle. I'm John Herrick. Here's what's trending at 10:02. A discovery made on Monday in Indianapolis that might make your skin crawl. Johnette Cruz reports.
Indianapolis police are seeking the public's help in the investigation of an infant found dead on Monday. East District officers were called to the 3500 block of Brookside Parkway South Drive after someone discovered the infant in a wooded area. IMPD child abuse detectives, the Department of Child Services, and the Marion County Coroner's Office are now investigating. Preliminary findings suggest the infant was less than a day old. Authorities are reminding the public of Indiana's safe haven law, which allows a person to anonymously surrender an unwanted infant without fear of prosecution. Johnette Cruz, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
The founder of Safe Haven Baby Boxes, Monica Kelsey, says it's instances like this that she and her organization created Safe Haven Baby Boxes so parents can drop their kids off anonymously.
They can either walk into a location and hand the child to a person, and if they don't want to talk to anyone or see anyone, or for fear that they're going to get caught doing something wrong, they can walk up to any baby box in the state of Indiana, open the door, place their infant inside, shut the door, and walk away.
She says there are almost 150 baby boxes in Indiana, and they plan on adding more. Indiana's the second worst state in the U.S. for fraud against senior citizens. A report from Caring.com says Indiana has seen the biggest increase in fraud against older adults over the past 3 years, rising by 240%. The researchers on the story say you also need to watch out for tech support scams and shady cryptocurrency payments. The statewide average for gas today is $3.25 a gallon, according to AAA. That is 7 cents higher than the national average. Indiana Hoosier head football coach Kurt Signetti says despite his team not having the best showing in their Week 1 win over Old Dominion on Saturday, he's happy with the atmosphere the fans brought.
You know, they were loud. The place was rocking. We didn't see the Bison come in. I heard it was spectacular, and the crowd was rocking, and we needed to give them more to cheer about.
They face the Kennesaw State Owls this Saturday in Bloomington. I'm John Herrick on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com. 10:04, Kendall and Casey coming back in 1 minute.
Without an Advent clinic nearby, people suffering needlessly from chronic nasal congestion and sinus infections would be stuck with either Band-Aid or Sledgehammer solutions. Band-Aids are pills or nasal sprays, and they're not true solutions. Surgery is a sledgehammer, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Because most people don't need surgery for nose and sinus issues, nor do they want a 14-day recovery. Our unique Advent approach can, in 20 minutes in our office, open your blocked nose for good, with only 1 day recovery. I'm Advent founder Dr. Kandula. Outside of Advent's four walls, invasive surgery is what they'll recommend. But here you will find effective and convenient in-office solutions to help you stop the need for Band-Aids and avoid the sledgehammer.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. most insurance accepted.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Kirby Heating and Air, your American Standard air dealer, serving Hendricks and surrounding counties.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
I don't know about you, Casey. I've about reached my limit on the government whining about things.
Really?
The local government's whining about potential cuts to something. I've reached the with which I cannot stand with these people. So the Indiana Capital Chronicle has this article about a bunch of library people who are whining about how they're going to make do with the quote-unquote cuts that are coming from this new property tax bill. So let's just do a brief reset for everybody on sort of how we got here and what's going on, because we have new people coming in all the time. All right. So from basically 2020 till present day, we have seen an explosion in revenue going to local governments. By local governments, for most people with their property taxes, it makes up the following things: your school, your city or town, your township, the county, the public library, and if you have a fire territory. Those are the 6 things when you pay property taxes. Now, many cities, like the fire department, is part of the city tax, but some have fire territories. So the 5 or 6 things you're going to pay for. And from 2020 through present day, you've seen an explosion of revenue to each of these government entities, because they all get a little portion of this pie, because of the assessment disaster, in which, because the government shut down society, then printed a bunch of money, people said, I've got to have somewhere for this money to go, and it's so cheap that I'll just put it into housing, which skyrocketed the price of houses here in central Indiana. And because taxation is done off of assessment, well, all the government entities got all this extra money. And instead of doing the right thing or the decent thing of saying, hey, you know what? We ought to anticipate this not lasting forever. Why don't we take a few of these shekels and put it in a bank account somewhere and hope for our citizens? This is the thing that makes me the most angry. The government roots against the people. The government, all these local government entities root for you to get screwed. They root for as much of your money to be taken from you as humanly possible. Because if they had any decency about themselves whatsoever, they would have said, hey, we really hope this gets corrected pretty quick, because people seeing their property taxes triple, that's just not right. That would be the decent thing to do. If any of these people had an ounce of caring about you whatsoever, and they would say, you know, we really ought to put this money away. We ought to store it. I mean, heaven forbid you actually lower your tax rate to offset some of these increases. But let's keep all of this and then hope something good happens, like, you know, people get a property tax cut. No, they spent it. It became their new baseline of spending, was all this new money that flooded in. There was no anticipation, whether it's the schools or these towns or whatever, of, hey, this gravy train may not last forever. And now they're crying rivers over here, the libraries, which, by the way, I think you could make a case in the modern era. The best thing the public library does, with everything being online, is provide internet access to low-income people. It probably would have been cheaper just to flood these people with internet access. They continue to fund the public library system. But that being what it is, now even the library, because they can't manage their money properly, they're crying about you getting some money back.
Well, we heard it time and time again during their property tax fight, was that if the government's not growing, it's dying.
Yeah. You have become a slave. We talked about this on Friday, right? You are but a slave to the government. And these local governments only see you as some worker bee that pays money to them. That's all you are. They don't appreciate you. They don't care about you. They just see you as someone who your job is to shut up and pay more money. The library, Casey.
Yeah,
what, are we going to run out of books?
The Johnson County Public Library Director, Lisa Lintner, she hosted 2 public meetings, and they were called Funding and the Future of JCPL. And she was walking people through the library, discussing how it was funded and how SEA 1 was going to affect the future. She said with the passage of SEA 1, which was the property tax bill, they're going to have to begin petitioning our county council for lit funds in 2027.
So here's why the libraries got in trouble. As I'm seeing it happen, I don't know if they're in trouble, but I've seen this happen in my own town. Again, so much money flooded in. We got to do something with it. They've done these massive expansion projects. There's a good chance. Yeah, your library. And by the way, it ain't just like, hey, let's create a way to put, 100 more books on the shelf. They're doing massive infrastructure expansions in these public libraries, which again, dying industry. Most people are getting stuff at home on the internet. And if you work in a library, that's I still have a library card. Okay. So I'm not trying to indict the people that work there or say you're awful people, but that's a dying industry. And what we do, because it's government that never has to be accountable to anything, we'll just pump a bunch of money into it because it flowed in because of the assessment stuff. So now they're going to cry to you and go, well, we must get more revenue. Unlike every other business in this world, who, if there's less revenue coming in, they got to figure out how to make it work. They got to figure out how to reinvent the wheel. They got to figure out how to have a new business model. Like I took the Tyrant to the baby playground this weekend, and I'm looking at. Did you know we have 2 football fields in Brownsburg now?
Yes, I did know that.
And 2 legitimate AstroTurf bleachers. You can go conduct any sort of event you want to. And then I'm looking at, they've draped the bleachers with this giant Brownsburg Bulldogs tarp type thing. And it's not like you can see in. It's like you'd see through. It's like somebody would stand at the fence and try to see through these bleachers to watch the game. There's no purpose other than it just looks cool because we made it look more like a college football stadium. We made it, they did these massive renovations to the press box again. And yet I watch these meetings where the Brownsburg school system is crying rivers over the fact that Senate Bill 1 might take some money from them. And you know what they're going to do? And they're the good guys in the equation right now because at least they're not referendum people. This is where we're at. This is how bad it's gotten, Casey, that the good people, they're still screwing you, but you're like, well, it could be worse. We could be our neighbors to the south.
It could be Avon.
Where they're talking about, well, we'll just get around this by raising our tax rate. They already know how they're going to get around it.
Yeah.
But this will never stop because the governor's a coward. He wouldn't stand up to the General Assembly. The General Assembly writes laws that nobody can understand. And by the way, they do the bare minimum. They do the bare minimum because they're actually more afraid of the schools and the libraries than they are you. But think about that. The library's mad you're getting $300 back. This article's talking about the public library people are mad. Sure, your property taxes have tripled, which means conceivably, if your property taxes have tripled, they've gotten triple the revenue from you. They weren't mad about that. They didn't care about that. They don't care about you being able to pay your bills or stay in your home. They're mad you're getting $300 back, and they're basically trying to make you think they're going to shut the doors.
So this is just an example, but the Johnson County Library gets 40% of its operating budget from lit money, and the director there said by 2028, many of the library districts could see devastating outcomes if lit funding is not approved. So give us more money. 2 questions for you, though. One, did we ever hear if the governor and the lieutenant governor said yes, that they would go canvass houses for that Avon referendum?
Okay, so first of all, I just want to clarify, when you're saying lit, that's local income tax.
Yes.
Which under Senate Bill 1, sure, you're getting that little property tax cut, which will go away in about 4 years because property taxes will keep going up, so it'll be offset. But now the local governments can raise your income tax, and you're already hearing the sweet sorrows of the library people practically begging now there to be income tax increases to offset your property tax increase. So I wanted to explain to everybody what they're advocating for there.
More money.
So we know what they're talking about. Okay. No, those scumbags down in Avon, the Avon school system, because they're they were very upset that the new property tax law, you were going to have to go to even years where people show up to vote. And these school systems depend on people not knowing there's referendums going on. They depend on people not knowing them happening when people don't normally vote, because they'll get all their people there. They decided they were going to sprint to the finish line and do a referendum in the fall this year, an odd year, because that law now is in effect, and they passed their referendum to go to referendum before the new law took effect, which I told Thompson and I told Braun and I told all these people this is going to happen, but neither here nor there. Now, what Casey's asking is, the lieutenant governor, I believe, told us this on our radio program, that he would go knock on doors for any referendum and try to defeat any referendum. And the governor told me in our famous, our last encounter together, it was the final time the governor and I ever appeared in the same room together and spoke words. And, I'm so glad.
Is that where he patted you on the head and said, there, Rob. Everything will be fine.
I told Governor Dementia Patient that I said, these people are going to be sprinting to the referendum turnstiles. And at one point, he said, I would knock. I said, are you going to go knock on doors to help them? And he said, well, yes. And I said, I looked at everybody in the room and I said, y'all transcribing that the governor said he would go knock on doors? So the people in Avon, because they're being forced to fight a referendum, because just like the library people, the Avon school system, school board, administrators clearly don't give a damn about their taxpayers. They have reached out to the governor and lieutenant governor in a feverish fashion to find out when they're going to come knock on the doors.
Right.
I said publicly, whatever day they commit to, I will come with them, show them how to do it, and we will all in full force try to help the people of Avon, Rob Kendall, the governor, and the lieutenant governor. And thus far,
crickets?
No returno elephono callo.
So that's not happening right now.
And Micah and Braun have such a strong connection to the truth, Casey, and there's no track record.
Where is Micah?
Well, I don't know. I have not seen nor heard, nor has anybody on social media. There's been no verifiable photo that I have seen of the lieutenant governor in the past, I believe 6 days. So if somebody has seen or heard from him, that's kind of weird, isn't it?
Yeah. The other question that I have for you was regarding property taxes. We were told that would be readdressed in the next session.
That's right.
Which starts in January.
Braun told me we're coming back for more. I believe the direct quote was, I'm coming back for more. And I said, you are coming for nothing.
Okay.
So.
Have we heard the plan?
No, and which is, we're in September.
I know that they're very focused on a special session, whether they will or won't have that.
Yeah. No. I've not heard anything, which, Org Day is November, so that's September, October. They basically got 2.5 months.
Yeah.
Because everything gets sort of set by Org Day.
Maybe we'll be pleasantly surprised. That would be great.
He's still conning. Meeting with those well-meaning people at his governor's residence is my understanding. So maybe he'll tell them what the plan is. Hey, I had to buy a fridge over the weekend.
And I want to hear about it.
That was a whole hayroot.
There's a lot of Labor Day sales,
very good.
appliance and furniture
Boy,
sales.
Sale isn't what it used to be, Case.
Okay, you're going to tell us all about it coming up from 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel.
The state of Texas can require voter ID for mail-in ballots.
It's not required already.
But Joe Biden got 82 million legal votes, Nigel. If you think otherwise, you might as well put the tinfoil hat on, okay? I don't think it's asking too much to have some sort of proof that you're a legal citizen in your mail-in ballot. Find a way.
Hammer and Nigel, weekdays 3 till 7 on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
Here's a real-life story that affects 50% of all of us out there. It's called divorce. If you've gotten divorced and now you're struggling to pay your bills and your credit card debts are completely out of control, you need to call this special debt relief hotline right now. We help people with all kinds of money problems caused by different life challenges, a divorce, a job loss, even heavy medical bills. All these life events can sometimes financially stress you out and cause you to get out of control. We help people get their lives back by showing them ways to consolidate and reduce their debt, in some cases for a fraction of what they owe. If your credit card balances are more than $10,000, call us and learn how to reduce your credit card bills and monthly payments now. Here's our number.
Paid for by Debt.com. Call now at 800-810-1820. 800-810-1820. 800-810-1820. That's 800-810-1820.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
I was struggling to make fashionable world.
Dr. Ferner of Indianapolis talks about why he got the new caption phone from Relay Indiana.
When I got the phone, it turned it around.
Go to RelayIndiana.com. That's RelayIndiana.com. And read up on the caption phone.
People that I talk with do not necessarily know that I have this service. It's a piece of cake.
Go to RelayIndiana.com to learn more.
Drexel Interiors, the place to go for upgrading your kitchen, bath, or flooring. Schedule your free design consultation at DrexelIN.com or visit their showrooms today. Go where the pros go.
And you're still the same. I caught up with you yesterday.
Boy, Case, you've never lived until you bought a refrigerator.
Did you have a good time? I want to hear all about it. So, Consumer Reports says that Labor Day discounts are among some of the strongest of the year, even beating Memorial Day and 4th of July sales. So,
okay, so
you put it to the test.
Well, let's reset this for everybody, because it was not just the purchasing of said refrigerator. It's you got to get it delivered, and I'll get into that. And then I had another issue that was probably the biggest issue of them all I had to deal with. So, this would have been, Thursday night. The temperature on my freezer and refrigerator started elevating. Like, I went into the fridge to get something, and it was higher than it should have been. And I told my wife, I said, I think there's something wrong with the refrigerator and freezer. I'd already tried to reset it. I'd done all the things, right? Sometimes the tyrant will just leave the door open. She gets in there and whatever. So sometimes that'll happen. But I thought, this seems like there's something, because it was the freezer and the fridge. I'm like, there's no way she's getting into both of those. That's not happening. And my wife is always so helpful. She's like, well, did you reset it?
Right. Jump plug it. Count
Yes.
to 10. Plug it back in.
Yes, I did reset it. And then she goes, well, let me look at it. And then she comes back and she goes, I reset it. I said,
great.
Well, I did that an hour ago. Thanks. So then it proceeded
She's
to
checking your work.
Well, it was climbing rapidly to the point where, okay, now there's something seriously wrong here, right?
Yeah, and by the way, every time you open the door to check it,
thank you.
You're making it worse.
So I had to get all the stuff out, had to take it over to my neighbor's house, throw it in his
your neighbor's house.
Available fridge and freezer.
Yeah.
Threw about half the stuff away because it was all expired. So I did that.
Time for a cleanup.
Then Friday had it was horrible trying to get somebody to come look at the thing on Friday, because of course it's a long weekend. A lot of people are out, so it's hard to even get somebody. Finally got somebody to come. They look at it. They're like, yeah.
Yeah, this is broken.
Yeah, they're like, this.
That'll be $200.
The compressor is broke. Here's your fee. Here's what it'll cost. It was going to cost $1,300 to fix it.
Oh, wow.
Because apparently the people who owned the house before us had a refrigerator made of gold, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know. Matt Hiblin and I, our boss, we were talking about this. And he said, this is the problem. He goes, things used to last 25, 30 years, but they add all these gadgets and gizmos and everything else. And it's like, you're right.
Overcomplicate it.
I don't need a water dispenser. I don't need an ice maker. It's
Do
in
you
the
need
fridge.
a USB port on your refrigerator?
It's in the fridge, Casey. It's cold anyway.
Yeah.
What do I need ice for? So he's like, yeah, it'll cost $1,300 fix. I was like, no, it won't. So here's your money. Have a good day to you, sir. And then went on the hunt to find a fridge.
Yeah.
Well, got several advice tips from people. No one wanted to give me a fridge, which was kind of
tried.
shady of our audience. But said go to Costco. So I went.
I don't know. Most people just don't have an extra refrigerator in their pocket. Like,
people
here's one.
People have extra things laying around. All we do for the people, Casey, and the one time we need them, where are they to be found? They're not. They're nowhere to be found.
It's a you problem.
So I went to Costco, found the fridge there that I liked.
Nice.
But then, and this Costco is in Avon. They don't deliver to Brownsburg.
What?
Right. Well, they said
right down the road.
Well, they said it's not. This specific fridge is not deliverable to Brownsburg. I asked the guy. I was like, "Does that make any sense to you?" He's like, "No." And then we just kind of stared at each other. I was like, "Can you find out why?"
Yeah.
So he's like, "Oh yeah, I'll get right on that." Like I had to suggest, "Can you let me know why they would not be delivering this fridge to Brownsburg?" So he disappears for like 30 minutes. Then I get the joy of standing there with my wife for 30 minutes, and she's just such a joy that she has to be out here doing this. Because she was like, "You should just go get the fridge." I said, "I'm not just buying something on my own."
You come back with some olive green refrigerator.
You're gonna own whatever we walk out of here
Avocado.
with. You're not gonna hate me for years because I got the wrong fridge.
Because she could use that against you for years to come.
So then finally he comes back. He's like, "They don't know why it can't be delivered."
Oh.
I was like, "But they're the ones making the call." He's like, "Yeah, they're going to look into it. They think
sort of insurance policy."
I don't know. He said it should be updated. Give it a few hours. Maybe they'll update it. So we gave it like 12 hours, and there was no update. There was no update. So
shocking.
Then Sunday, I told my wife after church. I said, "Old man and I are leaving. We'll come back with the fridge, and you're just going to have to deal with." I have the marching instructions of no ice maker, no water line.
Just strap that sucker down to the top of the car.
So we had to. We went to another place that advertises big sales, grand opening.
Yeah, that sounds promising.
They don't have anything in stock.
Oh,
I found one I liked. Again, found the thing.
You couldn't get the floor model.
I said, "When can this be delivered?" September 16th. What?
No.
You're a superstore. It's your grand opening. And we don't have that one in stock. Then why is it on the floor? Well, I wasted like 20 minutes going all the questions with the guy, going through all the stuff. Okay, very good. I would like to buy this thing. September the 16th.
Yeah.
So go to a third place. Finally, they have one.
Okay.
And they have it in stock.
Nice.
And they're going to deliver it on a Wednesday.
In Brownsburg.
Yes.
Great.
Then we get to the second part of the equation.
Oh.
Which is because this fridge had a water dispenser and an ice maker.
On the door or on the inside?
On the inside.
Okay.
There's a water line
Yeah.
that runs to the thing.
Sure.
Right? So several of our keen, no doubt, plumbing experienced listeners were like, "You better make sure that you got that thing capped because they will probably not do that on an install." And I was like, "Well, I don't know anything about this."
They're the ones who are installing. They should know.
So, old man and I do a cursory glance of the whole thing, and the water line is somehow running into the floor. It's like, well, I just figured there would be a spigot back there. You could turn it off, then you cap it, all that stuff. No, of course not. So now you got to figure out where that water line runs to, which means you got to get under the crawl space.
Oh, no.
So I've never opened the crawl space since we've owned the house.
Never been in there.
And I open it up, and it's just cobwebs galore.
Ooh.
And so Dad's like, "Better go down there and look." I better go down there and look.
You're like, "Gabrielle, I got something for you to do."
So I take the broom and I hit the cobwebs, and just spiders just come crawling out everywhere. So I get down there. I'm looking around. I was like, I don't know anything about plumbing. It's like, it's really dark. I'm getting back out of here.
Got a flashlight?
Like, I don't know what to do. I'm going to have to call a plumber or something. Well, my buddy Clay, who actually works with Gabrielle, he is the world's greatest handyman. And I call him, and I'm like, "Clay, I'm totally incompetent."
Hey, Clay.
I was like, "I'm going to end up breaking stuff." He's like, "All right, give me 30 minutes. I'll be there."
Well, that was nice.
So he's Mr. Fix-It. He's like the real-life Al Borland from Home Improvement. And he shows up, and he figures out where the water line is running. It was under the sink in the kitchen for some reason, which is very bizarre. I figured it'd be to the bathroom, which backs up to the kitchen. But he figured out where it was. We turned that off. He went to the store, got some part. The best part was I had to go bartend that event. I was like, "Well, gotta go. See ya."
So you're like, "Have this wrapped up when I get back. That'd be great. Thanks."
And so he and my old man, they figured it out, did it, and now I've got our fridge coming, and everything's been capped.
Nice. So you're ready to go. You don't have the fridge yet.
I'm sure there'll be some problem when they deliver the fridge.
Did you measure? Like, is it going to fit in the space?
It's been measured.
Okay.
It's
Because I
all
can
been-
totally see that you go out having not measured and they come to deliver it and there's not enough room between the counter.
That's why I brought my old man with me, because I know he, just like my wife, would be a see I told you so person. So I had him approve that the measurements were the measurements, and he took the measurements.
Right.
So that way if it's screwed up.
Because you got to measure diagonal.
I understand, Casey.
Okay, good.
I've been consumed by this for the past 6 days now. I'm so sick of it. And at one point, like as I'm crawling under the crawl space, my wife is sitting on the couch and she goes, "Why do you look so upset?" Because I'm sick of all of this.
What kind of fridge did you get? Like, is it just high level, stainless steel,
Yeah,
white,
stainless
black?
steel. I didn't want to get one, but my wife was like, "You must get a stainless
And
steel."
it matches the other appliances
Yeah,
now.
it's fine. Yeah,
Very good.
as usual. You know what?
Did you get a deal on it?
Yeah, it was fine. I mean,
Okay.
I mean, the fact that you got to buy
sale.
it. Yeah. It was whatever. I didn't care at that point. It was like $10,000. I'm done.
Just
done going
fridge.
places. You know, let's have a conversation about adulthood when we get back, shall we?
Okay.
Because
sounds like you experienced it this weekend.
this is the thing, right? You know who knows a lot about adulthood is John Herrick.
All right, he's up next with the news on 93 WIBC.
At Community Health Network MD Anderson Cancer Center, you'll find a team of experts on your side, all working closely to give you the guidance and support you need.
Everyone knew what every other doctor was doing. I didn't have to go to 3 different meetings. I didn't have to talk to them individually. You knew right there in the room. They came up with a plan together.
Learn more about Community MD Anderson at ecommunity.com/cancer.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
There could be a government shutdown if something's not done soon. You've got a sunny sky, and it's 69 degrees in the Circle City with a high of 82 this afternoon. I'm John Herrick. Here's what's trending at 10:31. Congress has until September 30th to pass a new funding bill, or there will be a shutdown. Florida Congresswoman Kat Kammick said today that they need to cut federal spending.
And so that's going to require courage and a lot of backbone out of all of my colleagues, Republicans and Democrats alike. We have to complete a normal appropriation season.
She tells Fox's Mornings with Maria that it's not a good idea to just pass another short-term spending bill. Cool air and fall-like temperatures are expected to impact millions of Americans this week. Forecasters say the below-average temps are being caused by an intense dip in the polar jet stream, and a cold front associated with that will also increase the chance of showers and storms in the upper Midwest as the week goes on. And the quarterfinals at the U.S. Open begin today. I'm John Herrick, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
It's Terry Stacy, and not too many locally owned businesses in central Indiana have been around 80 years. But Cardwell Do It Best on the south side has stood the test of time. Congratulations to Jeff Cardwell and Cardwell Do It Best, recently named 2025 Member of the Year by Do It Best. Autumn brings about whole new to-do lists, and Cardwell Do It Best has everything you need and even stuff you didn't know you needed, like extra keys. They make keys, including programmable keys and key fobs. Cardwell is your discount roofing headquarters, featuring dimensional roofing as low as $21 per bundle. And for the yard, find a full line of trusted lawn and garden products and Milwaukee M18 Fuel cordless power tools. Come celebrate 80 years strong at Cardwell Do It Best. Locally owned, community trusted, and always ready to help you do it best. 3205 Madison Avenue. Shop online where you'll find over 67,000 products with free shipping at CardwellHomeCenter.com.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use, now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks Vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
This is Emily with Kirby Heating and Air Conditioning. There's no job too big or too small. Go to kirbyheating.com to speak to someone about your project today.
Kirby is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Now I've been happy.
Did you see Indiana spent $37 million on a trucking facility?
I did see that in Lebanon.
We'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
Because I have many questions about this, about how this benefits me as a taxpayer.
Okay.
All right, but let's talk about adulthood for a second, shall we?
I've done it for a few years.
Well, you have experience. I mean, you've thoroughly raised a child from start to finish. You've done the whole. You've done the whole thing.
Yep.
I mean, I'm not trying to paint you as like Casey's on the last hole of the golf course or something in life's journey, but I'm saying
I'm a little past the turn.
You've moved. I mean, you have done. You've done the adulting.
Yeah.
And
I have.
Like, one of the things that nobody prepares you for with adulthood, if you missed last segment, I was talking about this just giant disaster monstrosity that's been trying to replace my refrigerator and try to do it over a holiday weekend. And, like, you're just, when you're young, and I remember people telling me this, but you can't fathom what the reality of it actually is. And Kev, you're getting into the window. I've told you that the best window to be a single person is like 27 to 31 because you're still young enough to do whatever you want to do. You have all sorts of disposable income.
You can still take some risks and make mistakes.
And like you're past the insanity phase of your existence. Like you don't have to deal with stupidity because you have options, right? But then Warren Zevon once did a song called Life Will Kill You. And boy, after about age 31, the reality of adulthood starts setting in. And then the further down the path you get, the more choices you make. You know, in Liar Liar at one point, Jim Carrey's asked to explain himself, and of course he can't lie, and so he says something like, "I'm getting what I deserve. I'm reaping what I sow. I have no one but myself to blame." You just keep adding to your list of responsibilities, and then you realize at some point your life just became one giant responsibility.
And it's getting more and more difficult.
It is. Yes. I went from no responsibility. As a 40-year-old man, I went in 10 years from literally no responsibility to nothing but responsibility. I somehow choiced myself into a life of responsibility.
Yes. Well,
I was where Kev was. 30, single, not married, no children, you out with me, you out till 3, waking up at noon, eating SpaghettiOs for breakfast, and now what do? I'm crawling under crawl spaces. I'm spending hours trying to find a refrigerator. I'm dealing with incompetent salespeople at the various refrigerator stores. Like that is my life.
Yeah.
It's nothing but a responsibility. I go places. I have to figure out how am I going to keep the tyrant, how well will the tyrant behave for how long? How can I keep distracting her so she remains well behaved? It's just one thing after another, Casey.
And I think it's more complicated now.
Her so she remains well behaved. It's just one thing after another, Casey.
And I think it's more complicated now.
Does it get better?
As well. And they'll be responsible.
Yeah,
that's the key. Make sure you do a good job when they're young so that older you can leave them alone for a short amount of time.
Yeah, I just used to be a renter too. Renter.
Just call somebody else.
Yeah, you just it's not working. You quickly.
Shoulders.
Okay, so we spent all right.
8 and 150 semi-truck parking spaces. 8 and 150 semi-truck parking spaces.
What does that do for me? Because aren't most of the
includes restroom access?
Again, what does that do for? 37 million sounds like a lot for a trucking facility, doesn't it?
It does, but you know, we are in the crossroads of America, right? Those truckers have to stop somewhere. They need someplace to rest and go. Doesn't that keep the roads safer for you if they have a place to pull off?
Yeah, But $37 million sounds like a lot of dollars for not having any money to help me with the gas tax.
For some
without
pavement.
the gas tax.
I mean, really, what are we talking about? We're talking about some asphalt and building with some toilets in
Did any
it.
of our truckers let us know, Rob at WIBC.com, why is the trucking facility so expensive? What's going on there that's costing so much? And how does this actually, because aren't a lot of people leaving the state? Aren't they just driving through the state? Are we essentially subsidizing their driving through the state? And I get that every state has the rest stops, and I'm okay with that. But I keep coming back to the price tag of 37 mil.
Yeah.
Right?
So it's part of a 10-year strategic investment, they call it. The INDOT actually plans to invest over $600 million into 21 rest areas, welcome centers, and truck parking locations across the state over the next 10 years. So
okay. Yeah.
60 million a year.
And you see why people would be infuriated by that, don't you? You see why people would say, well, wait a second. Okay, everybody wants our truckers to be safe. Everybody wants, a decent place for them to go. But it's a little hard when one truck stop takes up $37 million, and then you come to me with your hand out and go, pay up. Gas tax went up again this year.
Well, that's the price to pay to get those goods to consumers across the country, right?
But is it my responsibility to get something to Pennsylvania? Is it 65 wouldn't go to Pennsylvania. Is it my responsibility
to get something to Chicago?
To get something to Chicago or Wisconsin or whatever, right? Is that?
Well, they made it your responsibility, didn't they?
Okay, Colin says there are severe parking shortages in America.
Yeah, that's what I've heard for these long haul truckers, and I've seen it many times where they're not even in parking spots. They're on the ramp into the rest area and the exit ramp. They're parked there rather than in spots.
Yeah. All right. Well, look, I'm glad the truckers got something nice. As usual, I had to pay for it, so you're welcome.
INDOT's planning on adding 1,200 new parking spaces across Indiana over the next several years.
Absolutely wonderful.
They're going to double their capacity.
And no doubt they will take every measure possible to make it as inexpensive as possible.
Well, I mean, the roads are going to suck as they drive across the state.
That's the thing.
But at least they'll have a nice place to rest and be fresh-faced and ready to go.
If the roads stink for the truckers to drive on, wouldn't it be more important to make the roads better for the people to drive on?
Possibly. I mean, they do need a place to stop.
Yeah. And again, nobody has any problem with stopping. I just don't think it should cost $37 million.
It makes it safer for everybody else on the road.
Yeah, but I feel like that's
excessive.
Well, I feel like they're holding that over our head. Like, don't you want? It's always you hate kids, right? You hate the truckers. Don't you want some? Yes, of course I want that. I think I could have done it for cheaper than $37 million.
Probably. Hammer's going to join us next. It's 93 WIBC.
Coming up on Tony Katz today, is Trump going to engage a takeover of Chicago? That's after the news at noon on 93 WIBC.
Greetings from R&R Agency, your Indiana health insurance pros, and a sincere thank you to our loyal customers for helping us to another record year. We recently saved a 62-year-old retiring couple over $800 monthly when compared to their COBRA offerings. We recently saved a family of 4 over $400 monthly when compared to their $7,500 deductible program on the ACA, and that's still Obamacare. We recently saved a small 4-man manufacturing company over $1,000 monthly and gave them better coverage. We feature coverages guaranteed to age 65, low out-of-pocket expenses, the largest networks in the country, and you can sign up anytime. If you are retiring early, self-employed, or need coverage for your small group, call us at 317-563-0868 or go to rragency.org anytime. If you are retiring early, self-employed, or need coverage for your small group, call us at 317-563-0868. Call us 317-563-0868 or go to rragency.org. As always, God bless America, common sense government, and peace through strength.
Has your house become a burden? Why not sell it to us? Simple Quarters is a local Christian company that loves to assist people in difficult situations. Simple Quarters has helped over 3,000 families sell their homes in Indiana.
Wanda's been in real estate. I've been in construction, so she would find properties that we could fix up and resell or rent.
Probably we've flipped about 40 houses. I don't want to do it anymore. Health is not good. We're in our early 80s. Sometimes you have to give it up.
James, he did a good job. James was very cordial and, like I say, responded to our phone calls and kept in contact with us. So he did a good job.
When I got the purchase agreement, and he did have things in there that was pertinent to me. It's important.
Yeah, James followed through on what he said. Did what he said he was going to do.
Yeah.
Other companies make broken promises, but at Simple Quarters, we keep our word. Sell your home to people you can trust. Call Simple Quarters at 317-900-HOME. 317-900-HOME.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com. Taking, you may bruise more.
71st and Keystone for the Fall Mum Fest. It's one weekend only with mums at the lowest price of the year. The Fall Mum Fest at Sullivan Hardware and Garden.
That's when sport was sport.
Hey, you pointed out, by the way, Jason Hammer's here. Kendall Casey Show. I'm Rob, that's Casey. You pointed out, we have not mentioned this guy in a long time. A blast from the past is still apparently sitting in the Marion County Jail.
Right. So, Gabe Whitley, Honest Gabe, the man behind the very full-staffed Hooser Inquirer, which ironically hasn't really been posting a lot since he went to federal prison.
Oddly silent, wasn't it?
Weird. I was told they had a big staff. But he got out of federal prison, but then refused to do something, and now he's in Marion County lockup.
Refused to do something.
Okay, so most people remember this, but Gabe Whitley is the guy who got dead last. He ran for Congress in Marion County. He got dead last in the primary.
Lost to a dead person.
I mean, she smoked him.
Yeah.
And in the process, it was revealed that he had created all these fake donors. I mean, this is the dumbest thing a person has ever gone to prison for, ever. and he created all these fake donors,
which became a campaign finance fraud thing.
Right. And then he pled guilty. He was sentenced to, I think, 3 months in federal prison in Thompson, Illinois. He got out, a week or two ago, and then allegedly was, refusing to wear his ankle monitor because he has state charges related to threatening Abdul on the internet, which he now has to go, now he's out of federal prison, face these charges. And
in the meantime,
so he got out of federal prison, had to come back, wouldn't report or wouldn't wear the ankle monitor or something, and then
wasn't that a problem previously? Like, wasn't he trying to get the ankle monitor off?
He cut it off on his trip to Illinois. And I think there was a warrant out for him, but then he showed up at the federal pen, and they were like, take it off or whatever. And so then they went and got him. And now they put him in the Marion County prison, and then he had some sort of hearing last week, and I guess they denied his ability to get out. So because this dumbass didn't want to wear an ankle monitor, he's going to spend, the foreseeable future in county jail. Yeah.
So the question I have is, can we go visit him?
Oh, that's a great question.
If he's just here in the Marion County lockup, now he would have to approve the visitor, right? Like, you can't just show up and then they would say, oh, sure, you get to see him regardless. He has to approve it. But if we said, we're here from the Indy Star, and we want to do a story on how evil Rob Kendall and Jason Hammer have been making fun of you, he'll accept it, and then imagine the smile on that fat bastard's face when we walk into the Marion County lockup for a little visit with Honest Gabe.
Yeah, I mean, you get, I don't care what your opinion is on some sort of monitoring device, if indeed that's true. That's why he didn't report or wouldn't report or whatever. But, I can't imagine a worse place to spend 1 hour of your life, much less a month or more, or however long this is going to be, than the Marion County Jail?
This isn't club fed anymore, right? Because some people could say there's a difference in federal prisons. There's, oh my God, you better watch yourself, federal prison. And then there's club fed. Marion County lockup has got some nasty dudes in it.
Yeah.
People who have killed people. So, Honest Gabe, man, you better keep that multiple necks on a swivel, because there are some bad hombres in that joint.
And all of this, he got nothing out of it. Usually with a crime, there's something you get out of it. Like the people were fake. The donors never existed, so he got nothing out of that.
You mean the Hooser Inquirer? Which it would always just break my heart when I'd see people that would share something from the Hooser Inquirer and think that it's a real publication. It's like, man, come on.
Yeah, so obviously there's a special prosecutor now. I believe Delaware County is where the prosecutor's out of that they've brought in. He's a pretty no-nonsense guy. You can tell the judge can't stand the dude because he got a different judge because he was just pestering the previous judge. And so I think in a weird way he may go down harder on this online threat stuff. There's a chance than the campaign finance
I think
thing.
we need to make a video where we go visit Gabe.
Yeah. Can you find out what the rules are today? Can you call him and find out, like, if I want to visit someone, what the rules are to actually go visit?
Right. Or, maybe if he doesn't want to do a face-to-face, could we do something on the phone? We can say we're with the Hooser Inquirer, and we're very concerned that our boss hasn't returned any messages because we definitely exist. What a piece of crap.
Taking the cake.
Speaking of pieces of crap, boy, Arch Manning, he wasn't very good, was he?
Wow.
No, here's where I'm at with Arch Manning, right? And that was a bad performance. He was inaccurate a lot. But at the same time, man, Ohio State's really good. They're the defending national champions. I know they sent a bunch of people to the NFL, but places like that, they just reload. And Peyton, people forget about this. When Peyton was in college, he could never beat Florida. He was 0 for 4 against the Florida Gators and looked like crap against them all the time. Peyton turned out all right. Now, I'm no head coach here. I don't, advise at the Manning Passing Academy. But a lot of folks are saying there's a little bit of a hitch in Arch's delivery.
Uncle Rico-like.
It's a little Uncle Rico, right?
From Napoleon Dynamite.
Patrick Mahomes is like the only one that can ever do that and get away with it. Right now, Arch Manning ain't no Patrick Mahomes, and he had a bad game.
Now, I think on our Degenerates Next Door sports betting podcast, somebody raised their hand and was like, what if he's not very good? That was me.
Oh,
that was you.
What if he's not worth the $7 million?
Well, that was my point. Is like everybody just anointed this guy because his last name was Manning, the heir to the greatest player ever. And it's like, what if his name were Smith?
Here's my thing. And again, there's never been a Manning that has been bad at college football.
That's true.
From the old man, even Cooper. Cooper was really good before his injury at Ole Miss as a receiver.
That's true.
Of course, Eli and Peyton. Peyton could never win the big one at Tennessee. I probably watched more of those games than anybody here in Indiana. Like, now everybody's a Peyton expert in Indiana.
Sure.
Some of us are Tennessee Vol people. Peyton could never beat the Florida Gators. Steve Spurrier had his number, and they were really good. So maybe this is a one-game setback for Arch. I don't know. I feel like he's going to get better. I don't think he can get much worse. But that Ohio State team was really good, man.
Hey, speaking of Ohio State, any thoughts on Ryan Day and his new accessories?
So is that for real? Did he have a Governor Cuomo-style nipple ring on? Because there are pictures going around the internet that show him wearing a very tight Rob Kendall-esque medium shirt. And
little tech shirt.
Right. And then remember when Governor Cuomo, the Love Gov, was in New York, you could see through his shirt and he had the ring. Ryan Day's got one too.
He had a good time during the off season.
Like, is that total midlife crisis? Because he bleaches, he dyes that beard.
Right?
Yeah.
There's no way it's that jet black,
Yeah, that's
right?
Yeah, it's like Saddam Hussein with the boot black on the mustache. And,
Right.
Yeah. You ever have an engagement with somebody who had a nipple ring?
No, I've had engagement with tongue, but not on the can.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it's fine. I got you.
It's a little intimidating.
Well, it's not. I mean, not if you know what you're doing.
I mean, I know what I'm doing. I think I've known more about what I'm doing than you ever have, Rob.
Casey?
You used to come in my studio to learn how to know what to do.
I brought up the topic and I want to tiptoe right out of it.
Did you ever have one pierced?
No.
Nothing?
Ouch. It seems like it would hurt a lot.
That was before your time. I think that was more a your time thing where that started becoming a thing.
My time were the piercings and the tramp stamps and all that kind of stuff. You know,
some
Gen Xers.
You never see the barbed wire tattoo anymore either. That's really something that went away. Remember, everybody had the barbed wire tattoo?
Right.
Especially around the bicep.
I think The Rock had one. Goldberg had one in wrestling.
Did you see how skinny The Rock is now? Is that real?
He's got some movie where he's had to lose a bunch of weight.
Oh, so he's not ill. So these photos have surfaced of The Rock, and he looks like, remember when Matthew McConaughey played the guy?
Dallas Buyers Club.
Dallas Buyers Club. Yeah, like this is The Rock version of the Dallas Buyers Club, or let's face it, I don't think it's a stretch to think The Rock might have been getting some aid with his size, especially at near 50 years old.
A little more than a GLP-1?
I mean, he looks fine now if you didn't know what he looked like before.
Right. Before, there may or may not have been some supplements that have been pumped into The Rock.
They call it the gas, don't they? That's what the juice, the gas.
He possibly is healthier now that he's lost some weight, but you're so used to seeing him bigger that he almost looks sick.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, he looks like a very healthy, normal, like he's still pretty jacked up dude, right?
You see that dude walking on the beach, like, man, that dude's cut.
Yeah, but when you know what he was just, I mean, what WrestleMania was, or the wrestling, the last time he was on was a few months ago, and he seemed much more sizable.
There are trainers in Hollywood that specialize on that stuff, though. Who's the guy that was a Batman? Christian Bale.
Yeah.
He lost a ton of weight, and then he had to gain a ton of weight.
Right.
Like for the W movie, he had to gain a ton of weight.
Who's the guy?
Brandon Fraser.
Thank you. Yes, you knew I was going to say. The whale guy.
Yeah.
By the way, great underrated Brendan Fraser movie, Blast from the Past.
Oh, Christopher Walken.
That's right, is the old man.
Brendan Fraser, born in Indianapolis.
That's right. He was here very briefly, wasn't he?
Yes.
Yes. Hey, what's coming up this afternoon? What are we doing?
Oh, it's a make good day. So we were off yesterday, so it's going to be Tuesday Gun Day with Guy Relford today. Tuesday Gun Day. We'll do some caller roulette, and Trump's got some big announcement at 2 o'clock. We'll keep an eye on it.
All right. Thanks, Hammer. It is Kendall Casey on 93 WIBC.
There's just something special about late summer at Wilson Farm Market. The sweet corn's still crisp, the tomatoes are juicy, and the cucumbers taste just like the summer should. Stop by with the family, fill your basket with fresh produce, grab some hot, fresh fried chicken, pick up homemade jams, and select from hundreds of cheeses to make every meal something special. And don't forget that famous pretzel bread. It's always a hit at the dinner table. 20 minutes north of Carmel on 31 in Arcadia. Online at wilsonfarmmarket.com. That's wilsonfarmmarket.com.
We play fair in Indiana, but Washington insiders want to cheat. They want taxpayers to spend millions to redraw legislative maps approved just 4 years ago. That's not democracy. It's a power grab, and they're hoping you won't notice. Thankfully, some of our leaders are saying no to D.C. politics. Tell politicians Hoosiers don't cheat. Protect our votes and get back to focusing on our real problems. Join the team at playfairindiana.com. Paid for by Indiana Conservation Voters.
So, where's the lake?
Not here.
But it says Great Lakes Honda Fishers.
Right. I just don't see a lake.
Well, who needs a lake when you can lease a 2025 Accord SE for $329 a month and $0 down?
That definitely won't soak our bank account.
Oh, it's the old Honda Fishers.
Great lakes, great people, great cars.
But no actual lake. Visit our showroom off State Road 37 today. Tax and title fees not included with approved credit through Honda Financial. In-stock new Hondas only. Not combinable with other offers. Loyalty or conquest rebates may apply. Offer ends September 30th. See dealer for details.
Weekday mornings at 7:15, the Tony Katz Popcorn Moment. Brought to you by Boer Remodeling. Don't wait any longer for the kitchen you've been dreaming of. Request a consultation at boerremodeling.com. Drexel Interiors, the place to go for upgrading your kitchen, bath, or flooring. Schedule your free design consultation at drexelin.com or visit their showrooms today. Go where the pros go.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recycler Studios, an IndyCar driver is leaving his team. You'll hear what both the driver and the team owner are saying. Temperatures in Indiana about to change, as is other aspects of the weather. You'll hear what to expect on that front. Plus, what's next for the Indiana Fever? Those stories and much more coming up after Fox News Radio. You are listening to 93 WIBC. WIBC HD1 Indianapolis, and it's now 11 o'clock.
Donald Trump loses again. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. California's Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom posted that on X in Trump-like all caps form, celebrating a federal judge's ruling this morning that the president's first National Guard deployment to Los Angeles was illegal, as he considers sending troops to Chicago and other cities.
While there was violence during immigration protests in L.A. this year, a federal judge says there was no rebellion, nor was civilian law enforcement unable to respond. Therefore, Judge Charles Breyer says the use of military troops was a violation of the Posse Comitatus Act, an 1870s law prohibiting the military from executing domestic law enforcement. California sued the Trump administration over the deployment. Justice Department lawyers argued the Posse Comitatus Act does not apply because
that's Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House, where the president posted this morning about Chicago, claiming it's the world's worst and most dangerous city. Adding on Truth Social, he'll solve the crime problem like he did in Washington, D.C. Fox's Jeff Manasso reports.
Over 50 people were shot in Chicago, with at least 7 deaths during Labor Day weekend, as Mayor Brandon Johnson continues fighting President Trump's call to send in help, saying during a rally Monday,
"We're going to defend our democracy in the city of Chicago."
Though fellow Democrat 15th Alderman Ray Lopez telling Fox News that because of Chicago's crime problem,
we've made the best argument for Donald Trump to say that action is necessary right now.
Later today, we'll hear from President Trump. It's reported he's going to announce he's moving U.S. Space Command from Colorado to Alabama. It's back to court this hour for Ryan Ruth, the suspect in the second Trump assassination attempt outside a golf course in Florida last September. It is a final hearing before Ruth goes on trial. He is acting as his own attorney in this case. He had recently fired his public defender and other lawyers. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Will Power is out at Team Penske. Nothing on radar, a mostly sunny sky, 71 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. I'm John Herrick. This report is brought to you by Gutter Helmet. Here's what's trending. 71 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. I'm John Herrick. This report is brought to you by Gutter Helmet. That news announced by Power and Penske at around a half hour ago. Right move. Team owner Roger Penske says he wishes Power well and called him an outstanding driver and teammate for the organization. Now Penske is set on finding a replacement for Power, who won the 2018 Indianapolis 500. As for what you can expect from the weather in Indiana this week,
it'll be fairly warm the next couple days with high temperatures in the low 80s, but we are expecting a final passage Wednesday night that's going to bring rain and maybe a few rumbles of thunder to the state, followed by much cooler temperatures.
Andrew White with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says rain is likely on Wednesday, with the heaviest amounts falling in the northern part of the state. Police have released the name of the victim killed in a hit-and-run crash on the south side of Indianapolis over the weekend. They say the person who died was Brian Tallman, a 61-year-old man from Franklin. Police say Tallman was struck by another driver along U.S. Highway 31 and East County Line Road Sunday morning. Now they're trying to find the man who hit Tallman. Indiana has several safe haven baby boxes. Ryan Hedrick reports on what the founder wants you to understand.
For starters, Monica Kelsey wants you to know that there's a state law that allows you to
walk up to any baby box in the state of Indiana, open the door, place their infant inside, shut the door, and walk away.
And if you don't want your child and there's no baby box around, you have to hand your baby to somebody.
They cannot lay it on the ground. They cannot put it in a box outside the door in order to stay within the realm of the law.
Kelsey says it's unacceptable that Indianapolis police found a dead infant Monday at a park on the east side. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
And the Indiana Fever are back in action tonight to face the Phoenix Mercury at 10 o'clock. The Fever will not have Caitlin Clark once again for that matchup as she continues to deal with a groin injury. She has not played since July 15th. You can hear the game on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. I'm John Herrick on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com. 11:04, Kendall and Casey coming back in 1 minute.
Pat Sullivan here for Gutter Helmet. Are you still putting screens on your gutters? You know, if the holes are too big, debris gets in and you're still cleaning your gutters. If the holes are too small, it sits on top, and now you're cleaning the screens. I have Gutter Helmet on my home, and it has no holes, slots, or screens. It keeps the debris out and the water in. Since 1981, Gutter Helmet has been America's #1 choice for gutter protection. Right now, Gutter Helmet is offering a 17% discount plus 12 months, no interest financing if paid in full within 12 months. Call 800-5HELMET, that's 800-5HELMET, to schedule a free estimate. 17% off, restrictions apply, and cannot be combined with other offers. Call Gutter Helmet today at 800-5HELMET, that's 800-5HELMET, or gutterhelmetindy.com, and never clean your gutters again.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Kirby Heating and Air, your American Standard air dealer, serving Hendricks and surrounding counties.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
So, if a politician disappears or deviates from the norm, what right do we as taxpayers have to know about it?
Well, if they disappear, sometimes, at least historically, trends show that it does raise questions about where they were and what they were doing and who paid for it.
Right. So several little boxes we'll check here. First of all, Trump. So there's an interesting article at The Hill about a former Biden aide by the name of Megan Hayes. She went on yesterday, Labor Day. She was on CNN, and she was talking about sort of the lack of public appearances from Trump, and she's basically saying that the administration is not being transparent about what's going on with him. And
yeah, she said that he appeared, in 26 public appearances in August, but has gone silent for 6+ days, except for some Truth Social posts.
Now, he did play the golf, right? He did go play the golf, but I don't think that's necessarily unfair to say if you're the president, especially if you ran against the guy who you nicknamed Sleepy Joe and they're not telling you the truth. I don't think that's unfair to say something appears to be off from the normal look at me way Trump engages with everything, and the public should probably be allowed to know why that is and why we've seen such a change in terms of his lack of public appearances, lack of public engagement. I don't think that makes you a gotcha person. I don't think it's gotcha journalism. I don't think it makes you a never Trumper. I don't think it makes you having TDS. I just think if somebody, certainly to the level of the president, essentially disappears from the public eye for a period of time, the public has a right to know.
And then he calls for this Oval Office announcement at 2:00 today, and it has a lot of people speculating on what he's going to be talking about. Could it be Chicago or tariffs or his health? It has been announced by his press secretary that it will be in regards to the Department of Defense. Now, he wants to rename it back to Department of War, so it could be about that. Now, here's the thing, though, with Trump disappearing. Donald Trump doesn't do anything by accident.
Sure.
I believe that this is intentional because he drives the conversation consistently. He moves the ball, changes the game. That's what he does. And if he wanted to take a pause in conversation, he is intentionally pulling back so that at 2:00 today, people will be listening. He is resetting the news cycle. Get through the Labor Day holiday weekend. It's, by all accounts, a Monday, although it's Tuesday. 2:00, he's going to reintroduce what is important to him for the rest of the year.
Okay, but you think Trump can stand going 5 or 6 days and not being the center of attention? I mean, I don't dispute, like with a normal person, I would say, okay, that makes sense, but it's Trump. He cannot be the center of attention for 10 seconds.
Right, so that makes me believe even more that's intentional. He did that on purpose. Because he's not even doing the kafafe, you know.
What's he doing? Just hanging out at the White House? Just eating cheeseburgers, watching college football? Like, what do you think he's been doing the past 6-7 days, whatever it's been?
Well, there was rumors that Melania was spotted at Walter Reed. He did play golf, right? So maybe he was just taking it easy, getting everything in order to reset kind of the rest of the year, his agenda.
Hey, look, I hope you're right. I hope there's certainly nothing wrong with Trump. I hope he's in great health. I think it's the behavior is a little bit bizarre. And I think when you're, what is he, 78 or 79 years old, and you've clearly got some health issues. Now, I don't think anything that people think is going to put him in a box within the next, 6 to 8 weeks.
Well, we know he has that chronic venous deficiency.
Right.
And the bruising, they said, was a side effect from the aspirin that he's taking.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it makes you a horrible person for having some level of concern about this and wanting to know where you're. I mean, because look at like what we've had here locally, where the Secretary of State disappears, Diego Morales disappears to we don't know where, and he's gone for 10 days. And then it turns out he's on this mysterious trip to India with the guy that's selling the visa access and the venture capitalist. And I think if you're a public official and you're not going to be seen or being heard, because the whole thing about like Diego needing the car was, I go to all 92 counties. I'm traveling everywhere. I need to be seen. I need to be out there. And then you just aren't seen. Then I think you have the right to know, because I think that's a red flag. I think it's the same thing with the lieutenant governor, who, going back, the last known sighting I can see of him is August the 24th.
Where is the lieutenant governor?
Now, somebody messaged me and said he was in Poland. I don't recall a big announcement saying he was going to Poland. I don't recall a big thing about here's what I'm doing for the state in Poland.
Sure.
And if you're not doing something for the state as lieutenant governor, then why are we paying you a salary to be the lieutenant governor if you're going to, I mean, what is that? That's 31st. That's 8 days, 9 days, whatever that is now. Okay, but I think like the foreign country stuff, trips, etc.
What's he doing? Is he just on a vacation?
I don't know.
Taking a few days off?
I have no idea if that's even true. I've just told by multiple people he was in Poland, which, again, I think that's a little odd for a guy who can't stand to not be seen for 7 seconds to just disappear and then not tell anybody. And I mean, it's clear the posts are being made of, they're not, most of them have anything to do with him. Which, okay, you can go, but it's weird not to tell people where you're at or what you're doing or not have a big announcement. And again, it's totally out of line with the normal behavior. And we have our state office holders taking a lot of foreign trips. We do. They're not the governor.
What does that show you? How irrelevant that position is?
Well, it is interesting, too, and you and I were talking about this, that the guy has basically disappeared for 8 or 9 days, and it's not even a news story. It's not anything. And it shows just how irrelevant the position and he may actually be. Because at least with Diego, it was news because you're like, this is the Secretary of State. He's in charge of elections. He's in charge of businesses. He's got a budget hearing that he's showing people are like, where is this guy at? And people trying to put the puzzle together. Lieutenant Governor's been gone for 8 or 9 days and nobody seems to care. So anyway, I think with Trump, to bring this back to Trump, because he's the one that really matters, is that when it's so far out of the normal behavior, there probably ought to be an explanation about it, because I think people are. And I don't think it's malicious. I think it's that.
Is something wrong? Is something going on?
Right. And people have, especially at his age.
People
and
are concerned.
Health concerned.
Sure.
I hope you're right that he's doing some 3D chess with everyone. I'm not sure Trump has that in him to just disappear for several days.
Well, I think the thing that makes people question it even more is the fact that J.D. Vance did that exclusive interview with USA Today, and he said that he was ready to take over and lead if needed. And that just kind of adds fuel to the fire. He did say, if God forbid, there's something happens.
It wasn't even like he was like, next week I'm ready to go. Put me in, coach.
Right. But Donald Trump has been saying that he's never felt better. And Eric Trump said that any speculation is sick and twisted. It's left-wing propaganda.
Well, and he was on the golf course. I don't think if you're on death's door, you're going to get in a quick 9.
But that shows you, though, that Donald Trump has, in a sense, trained us to expect things from him on a daily basis.
Well, it comes back to, we talked about in the first hour, the conversation I had with the magician over the weekend, where he was like, in magic, bartended this event for those of you just tuning in over the weekend, and they also had a magician there as the entertainment. And I was talking to this magician, and I was talking about like, are there tricks that amaze you, etc. And he said the trick is irrelevant now. he said, I know a lot of really good magicians who do amazing work who can't get past doing people's birthday parties because they're boring. And he said, I know a lot of magicians that aren't really very good that do big corporate events, etc., because they're super entertaining. And that's where we're sort of at with the politics now, where people don't pay attention to good public policy. It's why guys like Thomas Massey struggle. They're boring. It's why people like Rand Paul struggle. They're boring. They have great ideas. They create great public policy. They make great points. They're boring. People have the 10-second attention span, and that's to bring it to your point. Trump has been the master of continually just owning the news cycle because he can never get enough of himself, and that's why this is a red flag, that it just seems out of touch, that for a period the guy just suddenly doesn't want to be seen nor heard from.
Well, this will be his first on-camera remark in a week, and by being quiet, he's now owning the news cycle.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. I think it's going to have something to do with the Department of Defense, and he has been wanting to rename it to the Department of War, but it is Donald Trump. So, he's going to mention whatever is on his mind in the moment, and that may include Chicago, sending the National Guard there, or tariffs, or the meeting that Xi and Putin and Modi all had together. I mean, who knows what he's going to say, but because he's been quiet, everybody will be listening.
Yeah, you're right.
It won't get lost in the shuffle.
You're right.
It is Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Sun's up, the coffee is brewing, and Tony Katz is your morning information barista.
Tony Katz, good to be with you.
Clarity.
We're not interested in having this debate. We're only interested in honestly addressing the issue.
Context.
We should not present this in any other light. The objective is the destruction of Western civilization.
And a little caffeine.
Only the Constitution should rule.
Tony Katz in the morning news. Weekdays 6 till 9 on 93 WIBC.
The IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship is back at the racing capital of the world. This sports car racing event, September 19th through 21st, is different than anything you've seen at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Sunday the 21st, it's the TireRack.com Battle on the Bricks. And now the race runs 6 hours. The paddock is open for fans all weekend long. Infield camping opportunities make this a can't-miss weekend. Kids 15 and under are free with a paid adult. Get your tickets at IMS.com.
Hey, ladies, are you interested in self-protection but don't know where to begin, or maybe you're too nervous to enter the gun store alone? Well, let me introduce you to Premier Arms. They're more than just a gun store. Premier Arms is a supportive community dedicated to empowering women. They have a friendly, educated staff, and they'll provide personalized guidance, ensuring you feel confident in your firearm choice. It's Casey Daniels letting you know Premier Arms is where female gun owners are supported. Call them today, 317-858-3030.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
From military life to a rewarding career in IT, kickstart your new journey in a matter of months in the fields of IT and cybersecurity, including AI. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including VA benefits.
Drexel Interiors, the place to go for upgrading your kitchen, bath, or flooring. Schedule your free design consultation at DrexelIN.com or visit their showrooms today. Go where the pros go.
Full disclosure.
Yeah.
Hammer and I, the Degenerates Next Door sports betting podcast goes to 2 shows a week now since the NFL is starting.
Okay.
So I'm just going to be I'm going to look you right in the eye and just be totally honest with you.
Yeah.
I've been getting my picks ready for that. I have no idea what we're talking about this segment. So wherever you want to go with it, it's all on you.
So for the podcast, you do one show is college football and one show is NFL.
In the NFL, and so I had to get 2 games for the show, and then I got to come up with the Let's Get Nuts pick, and so I'm not gonna lie to our audience. I just got totally engaged in this last pick for the show.
Yeah.
And new podcast drops later today.
Fantastic.
What are we doing?
I like you. I like that you're prepping on my time.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, speaking of college football, can we quickly discuss what happened in Notre Dame? Did you watch? Were you bartending?
I was bartending
during that game.
I watched most of the second half. I got home for a lot of the second half. I think Notre Dame's they turned the ball over twice. I don't think it's panic mode time because you lost to a top 10 team on the road by a field goal.
Right.
They came back, tied the game up.
They did come back, but oh man.
A couple things. I would say 1, the 2 turnovers, that's not going to work, and 2, their offensive and defensive lines were extremely disappointing, and that was supposed to be the strength of the team. And if they don't get that figured out, then they might as well just pack it up and head to the Pop-Tart Bowl.
So they're off this weekend, I believe. So they've got some time to watch and see what went wrong, what they did. But for me, that's such a disappointment when your team loses on the first week, because it's like you got to win out the rest of the season.
I think 10-2 if you're Notre Dame with that schedule would probably get you in. So, but we all know Notre Dame will lose to one obscure directional school like they do every year. So, yeah, I just I don't know. I just kind of had a feeling about this year. It's so hard to bounce back. Like I said, I think people are. It's an overcorrection. People are. Week 2 is always overcorrection week with anything, so people will be freaking out about that. They'll be fine. I think they'll be right about that 10-2 mark, and everybody just calm down and have a good time.
So I was watching all of the pregame stuff with an Ohio State fan, and every TV in the house was turned on to the college game day. And Lee Corso, of course, Lee Corso said, "See ya."
You've got one last headgear to make.
All right, this is one of the easiest picks I've ever made. Texas is loaded. Texas is number 1. They have a Manning at quarterback. Poor Ohio State. They ain't got a chance. Give me my first love.
There it is. Here it comes.
Of course, Lee Corso putting on the Brutus head.
You know what's
for the Buckeyes?
You know what's interesting is somebody told me this when I was younger, and it's absolutely true the older I get. You never really fully appreciate things that you have in the moment. Even if you're a person who is very cognizant of history and things, like no matter how much you appreciate something, you, with very rare exceptions, you never fully appreciate things in the moment until you don't have them anymore. And like I was, of course, Lee Corso was the former coach at IU, other places, football coach at IU and other places. He then became most famous as being, an analyst for ESPN. And Lee Corso, again, I assume most people know this, but those you don't. Sort of his shtick was at the pregame show, they would pick a game. There would be a big build-up. He would go through both teams, and then he would pull one of the team's mascots' heads out and put it on his own head, and that's who he'd be picked for the game. And it was a huge, huge thing. And I was watching one of the old videos of Lee Corso doing picks, and they were at Texas Tech. Texas was playing Texas Tech, and Bob Knight was the coach at Texas Tech. And those two guys were just on there shooting the breeze with each other. And it's like, dang. I think Lee Corso's had some health challenges, et cetera, which is why they've decided to pack it up with him. But it's just like all the people that have passed away recently. You think of whether it's Hulk Hogan or Ozzy Osbourne or whoever. It's just like you never fully embrace greatness or great things in the moment, and then you're always just kind of left to reflect on them afterwards and go, wow, that was special. I wish I would have enjoyed it more.
Yeah. Well, they wanted it to wrap up at the end of last season. They said, no, we're going to have you back for one more game. Something new that was introduced this weekend, the IU Bison.
This is
mascot, Hoosier. made an entrance. What?
I don't. What's it? But it was
Parachuted in or paraglided, whatever you want to call that.
It was the mascot, and then they took it away,
Right.
And now they brought it back.
Brought it back
to sell merch, right? They're doing this to sell merch.
Seems like it.
What do you have to get a new? Like my current IU sweater doesn't work because it didn't have the bison on it. Oh, gee, Casey, you're so out of style. It just says Indiana on it.
He entered the stadium. I believe it was Enter Sandman was the music that was playing.
Oh, good grief.
And I kept thinking, no, wait, that's another school already uses.
Yeah, well.
Pick a different song.
You know, IU, the football team, has always taken a backseat to basketball. And now, especially with the success that they had last year, I think they want to kind of try to make it feel special, right? So they rolled this out. By the way,
it was a cool entrance.
The new Notre Dame logo didn't do too well, did it?
No, it didn't. That did nothing
We
for
warned them.
Right.
Didn't we warn them last week?
They should have learned from Cracker Barrel.
That's right.
Don't go changing it.
So they changed the Notre Dame logo from the Irish guy, the leprechaun, with the fighting fists.
Yeah, to now he's carrying a football.
Which is stupid. It looks stupid. Just another example of don't touch things, right? If it ain't broke, don't touch it.
Okay. Let's talk about how in another state they're considering pay per mile fees for electric vehicles. This because they're not getting their money off the gas tax.
This is fascinating.
This is in Oregon.
Yes, but this is fascinating. So Oregon is a super liberal state, and they obviously are one of numerous lefty states, and I mean even the Republican states have done this. And the Hill, by the way, had the article amongst other people that have strongly encouraged people, you got to get electric, you got to save the planet, you got to do this for the country and for the earth and blah, blah, blah. Well, now these wizards of smart have figured out, oh, crap, if a lot of our money we're getting is off taxes on gasoline and
These
people ain't
vehicles
using
aren't
gas.
using these gas,
So now they're coming for the electric people who they just begged and pleaded, you're doing this great thing for humanity by buying these electric cars to save the planet. And now they're looking at putting a variety of different fees on these electric vehicle people, which that's the laughable thing to me, because we're seeing this with the solar panel people with the property tax reform bill here in Indiana. Jacob Stewart, who's our buddy from the Indy Star, who comes on our show every so often, said, you know, he's getting screwed because he's got the solar panels on his house, and they're doing all sorts of alterations to the solar stuff. If you do anything because the government tells you to, or you think you're going to get some sort of long-term benefit because you're helping society, the government will always screw you. They will always go back on their word, and they will always find a way to get their money. And if you believe them, then I've got some nice swampland I'd like to sell to you in the here in New Jersey.
So in Oregon, they're trying to fill a $300 million hole in the state's transportation budget, which is used for their road repairs and snow plowing. And of course, they used to use money from the gas tax, which they just don't have enough of that anymore. Hawaii is another state that does this, makes you pay per mile.
Yeah, you could get, you'd either pay about 2.3 cents per mile or choose an annual flat fee of $340. So if you think you're going to be under the 340 threshold, you can do that. Now, I think you get capped at the 340.
So you have to go check your mileage, see how far you drive every year.
And they're raising their gas tax, too. So,
are they?
Well, it just shows you these states. I mean, we've had this conversation before. Government is run by morons. and the best and the brightest amongst us don't go into government because they're out producing. And so you have very oftentimes uncreative people who their just default is, what's the easiest thing for me to do? What's the easiest thing for me to do? And that's what I'll do.
It is Kendall Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
All right, let's see here. Derringer, a couple old Colts. What's this, a clock? What's that, Harvey? You can't read the clock? Well, you dumb bunny. I said Glock, not clock. Folks, I'm going through my old shooting irons here, looking to see what I might be able to sell down at the Indy 1500's Big Gun and Knife Show down at the State Fairgrounds this weekend. Let's see now, where was I? Oh, yeah, Ruger, another Glock. What do you mean, what's a Glock? Now, Harvey, you know what a... What do you mean all guns look the same? Harvey, come here. Now, pick up that shotgun there. All right, now pick up the Glock there. Now, see? Now, can't you tell the difference? Now, Harvey, be careful. That gun is... Excuse me, folks. I think I need to take old Harvey to the eye doctor. Looks like he's come down with a case of glaucoma.
Celebrity voice and imaginary character impersonated. The Indy 1500 Gun, Knife, and Outdoor Show this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the State Fairgrounds.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A shakeup at Team Penske. I'm John Herrick. Here's what's trending at 11:30. After 17 years of driving for Team Penske, Will Power announced today that after 17 years, he's moving on from Penske. Both team owner Roger Penske and Power said they sat down and talked about it and that Power felt a change was necessary. Power has 45 IndyCar victories in his career, including winning the 2018 Indianapolis 500. Rain is supposed to return to Indiana starting tomorrow.
Right now, it's looking like the northern portions of the state, as you get east of Chicago towards Fort Wayne, looks to be where the heaviest rain is going to be falling with this.
Andrew White with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says the rain will likely be the heaviest Wednesday night into Thursday morning. And Monday's Powerball drawing has come and gone with no winner. The total prize is now $1.3 billion. On the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Well, summer's still hot, and so are the deals at Tom Roush Lincoln. Right now, get 0% for up to 48 months on 2025 Lincoln Aviator and Nautilus, or 0.9% for 72 months on 2025 Grand Touring Corsair. Or how about a $50,000 Lincoln Corsair from just $499 per month? So come get one of those hot summer deals at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers.
MSRP $52.20, 36-month term, $2,500 due at signing, $499 a month, 10,500 miles per year. Good through 9/2/25.
Pros trust Milwaukee Power Tools, which is why Quality Supply and Tool is one of the largest Milwaukee dealers in the country. And right now at Quality Supply and Tool, buy a select M18 fuel grinder, bare tool, and get your choice of the Red Lithium XC8 battery kit, 3/8-inch mid-torque impact wrench, or 4.5 to 5-inch variable speed grinder free. That's a $279 value. Or buy a select M18 4 or 6-piece combo kit and choose 2 select M18 tools free. Only until November 2nd while supplies last. In Lafayette, Bloomington, Jeffersonville, and Indy, Quality Supply and Tool thinks outside the box. Store.
1983, over 80,000 customers have trusted their home to B Window.
We're now employee-owned, and that means we treat your home like it's our own.
From energy-efficient windows that can cut your energy costs by up to 50%.
To stylish doors, siding, and custom bathroom models, we have you covered.
And every project is backed by our industry-leading warranty.
Call today or go to bwindow.com and receive up to 50% off plus a free patio door.
Because at
B Window,
we mean business.
This is Robert with Kirby Heating and Air. No job is too big or small. Go to kirbyheating.com to speak with someone today about your project.
Kirby Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Hey, thanks for covering that last segment for me. I think I'm good.
Yeah?
I think I'm good.
You on track now?
Well, yeah. For those of you who missed the last segment, it's Kendall Casey. I'm Rob. That's Casey. Hammer and I do a sports betting podcast, The Degenerates Next Door, which is 2 days a week now since college and the NFL are here. It's Tuesdays and Thursdays. And
today's Tuesday.
Well, look, normally I would get this stuff ready on Monday, but because it was Labor Day, the babysitter was closed. So I was just, that was my whole day. I didn't really have a chance to dig into these games. And I just last segment was trying to shore up some of my picks here. And I just told Casey, I was like, I've been so during the commercial break paying attention to these picks. I have no idea what you're, because Casey will always tell me, she'll go, we can talk about this and we can talk about this. We can talk about this. You're doing a perfect job. You're doing it wonderfully. You're doing everything. And I don't listen to you anyway. So I'm just like, And then in my mind, I hear.
You already know what you're going to talk about no matter what anyway.
Well, here's how my mind works. I hear, on the peripheral, I hear the words you're saying.
Sure.
And I'm processing them, and then I'm kind of looking up some of the things based on what you said. I mean, I'm not really listening to you, but I am hearing what you're saying.
I feel like the guy from Fifth Element. Can you hear the words coming out of my mouth?
Yeah, so then, but with this one, I was just looking at the sports betting, so I really wasn't even processing the words that you were saying. So I had no takes on anything pre-segment, but I felt like we got through it fine.
You did great. You got through it.
Yeah.
You were wonderful.
It's a very...
Congratulations. By the way, Labor Day, you said you didn't have the babysitter or the daycare. What did you guys do? You went to the baby
playground.
Baby playground.
My mom came over in the morning. And we ran around. My whole goal is to wear my kid out.
Well, yeah.
And she'll
fall asleep easy and sleep through the night.
And I've told you, she's entered the phase of her existence. She's very smart, and she's entered the phase of her existence where she processes, I don't know if it's subconsciously or not, but she's able of processing, this is the extent to which I can be punished. Okay? No matter what I do to them, they can't do it back to me. And so everything, there's like a decision. You can see the wheels turning when she's told no on something. Okay, here's the max punishment. Is this thing worth the max punishment? And if it is, then she's just going to do it. And you ain't going to be able to stop her. So, but I found if I wear her out, you know, the more she's outside, she doesn't technically behave better. She's just outside, so she can't do any damage. So we spend a lot of time outside.
That's good, though.
And then we went to see some friends for dinner last night, and she was very well behaved until the end, and then the sleepy monster hit her.
Good.
So we had to retreat once the sleepy monster hit.
Tuck her in nicely. Yeah. Okay, so what's going on tomorrow?
Hey, you didn't even tell me about your... You tried to sneak out of this show without confirming what I always say about flying, which it is hell on earth.
Oh, my gosh, Rob, let me just tell you what happened.
Yeah, this is why I don't fly.
Let me tell you about the flight on Friday. So my flight was supposed to leave. I was supposed to board at 5:15 and leave at 5:45 and get to Baltimore by 7:15. Perfect, right? Well, the plane that was taking me to Baltimore was late getting here. So it was like it was flying in from Baltimore, and then it was just going to turn around and fly back.
I gotcha. Sure.
So that flight was delayed getting here. So that was delay number one. And then as I'm at the Indianapolis airport, there is a huge group of 8th graders, and they're all wearing matching bandanas, and it's just a huge group. And I originally was thinking, well, this has got to be a group of kids going to Washington, D.C. for the 8th grade trip. But then they lined up in front of the post that said, going to Las Vegas. And a couple of us kind of joked, like, what are all these 8th graders going to Vegas for? And then, it's Southwest, so you get your section A, B, or C. Well, I was in section A because I did the early check-in. And all of these 8th graders lined up, and then the guy comes on and he says, okay, we're going to let these kids get on the plane first. And everybody, And because they were saying it's a packed flight, there's going to be no room for your luggage. We're looking for volunteers that will give us their carry-on so we can stow it underneath the plane. It was just a jam-packed flight. So then we get on, right? And we pull away from the gate, and we're just sitting there. And then a few minutes later, the pilot comes on, and he says, oh, we've got some valve that's not starting, so we're going to have to go back to the gate. The mechanic's going to see if they can fix it.
So you were on the plane.
Sitting on the plane.
You could have been up in the air.
Could have been up in the air.
And they tell you there's a problem with the plane.
Problem with the plane. We're going back to the gate. So we sat on that plane for 45 minutes at the gate while the mechanic came on. And they did whatever they were going to do. And then the pilot comes on and he says, this could take about a half hour. If they can't fix it, we can fix it manually. And I'm thinking, why don't you just fix it manually to begin with?
Whoa.
But hello.
Whoa, tell me.
Not a whole lot of confidence. I'm going on this plane that you need a mechanic for.
I don't want you fixing anything manually. I want the finest, nicest, most sturdy tools. See, this is the thing, Casey, and then I'll let you finish the story.
Yeah.
This is what do I always say.
Yeah.
If I'm driving down the road and there's a valve issue, I can pull off to the nearest exit.
Right.
And if I got to call, insurance company or whatever, I have towing, whatever, and I'll get it rectified. It might be frustrating. It might not be ideal, but at least I'll be alive.
Right, exactly.
What if you'd got in the air? Oh, there's a valve issue.
Some valve thing. So after we sat on the tarmac for 45 minutes, keep in mind, this plane is full of 8th grade boys.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
they can be a little sweaty, a little stinky from time to time. Yeah. They finally said, okay, we got it fixed. We're going to take off. We're next in line. We ended up taking off, and the flight was fine, no issues. But by the time I landed in Baltimore, I could have driven there in the amount of time that it took.
Without the valve.
Without the broken valve. Yeah.
This is this is why I don't get on the airplanes. This is why I call it the death tube.
Yeah.
Think about the hell on earth you had to endure with all those kids on that plane, and you're just stuck there. And I'm guessing this wasn't some 747 you were on. Probably very tight seats. Probably, did you have some stranger next to you?
I had an 8th grade boy next to me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Why would you want to do that to yourself? Why would you subject yourself to that? You know who you're subjected to in your car? Yourself.
Right. Well, I was subjected to myself in the car yesterday on the drive home.
And I bet it was much more pleasant than those 8th grade boys. Or worrying about some valve issue.
I know. I mean, it really doesn't exude confidence, does it? Because the whole time you're flying across the country, you're like, is this thing going to break?
Exactly. I told you, have I told you this? My wife's new thing is she watches documentaries about disasters.
Oh, great. Does she think about me?
Well,
in a plane?
It's horrible for me because, I have the OCD and the claustrophobia and all that stuff, right? Like, so it's just horrible for me. And she'll just sit there and she'll chuckle while it's on.
Oh.
Like, because she knows it's driving me insane. So what's the thing that sank? The
Titanic?
But the thing that went down to see the Titanic.
Submersible?
Submersible. Yeah. Thank you. She's obsessed with the submersible. We've watched like 92 documentaries on the submersible. And every time I'm like, why? You're not going to learn anything else. It's just some AI guy in a different accent revealing the same information to you as the last guy. You know how it's going to end. It's not like they magically rise up from the sea. Why are we watching another one? Anyway, we were watching something the other night on this English flight in which the windshield wasn't secured properly, and the window, the glass, like it blew out. And the pilot
sucked all the oxygen out.
Was sucked halfway out of the plane, and how some guy was holding onto the pilot while the other co-pilot was trying to land the plane with the guy halfway out of the plane. And it's just like, this is the worst. Then you're like, why won't you fly? It makes me sad that we can't fly to another country. Like, why would I do that? You're sitting there watching this thing about how the pilot got sucked out of the window.
Yeah, I was sitting there the whole time thinking, I hate flying. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. It was nice. The one thing that has improved in flying was the don't have to take your shoes off.
Oh, you didn't have
TSA. That was nice. And I did the thing. I don't know if you've seen these videos. People will start, the song Sweet Emotion from Aerosmith? So apparently, if you start playing that song right when you start going down the runway, the song kicks with the vocals right when you take off.
Oh, because the runway's always the same distance.
And I put it to the test, and it worked.
Oh, did you have to pay for Wi-Fi?
No, I didn't pay for Wi-Fi. I just listened to it in my headphones.
Had like an MP3 player or something?
Yeah. And it worked. It worked. So if you see any of those videos of people playing Sweet Emotion as they start to take off in an airplane, worked for me.
So are you done flying? Was this it for you?
I have to be going someplace that's really worthy.
Yeah, it's hell on earth. That's
like if I don't have the time to drive there, and it's the only way it's going to happen, it's just not a pleasurable experience.
It's not. Nothing about flying is pleasurable.
Yeah.
Like it's like you're around strangers.
The guy across the aisle from me, he was beside himself because he was actually flying from Indy to Baltimore, and he was connecting in Baltimore to go on to New York, and he had like 15 minutes because the flight was delayed so long to get his connecting flight in Baltimore. Plus, he had to change concourses. He was older. He was like, I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to make it.
Wait. If you... Somebody in the YouTube chat said I would sleep with one eye open tonight if I were you. Nah, she knew what she signed up for when she married me.
Message for your wife.
Yeah, we dated for several years. She knew exactly what was going on. So wait, they don't take into the fact that we've got these connecting flights coming in, so we got to wait for this flight. They don't do that at the airport. I've never had a connecting flight, so I don't know. If you're that flight from Baltimore to New York, they're not like, well, obviously
waiting on that
we got to delay
passenger.
because there's a connecting
They'll
flight.
wait a little bit, but and as
but
long
then
as
what happens?
You miss it.
But then
then you're stuck in Baltimore. You either gotta get a hotel.
Do they give you your
or
money back?
Rent a car. Depends on how good you challenge, how good of an argument you can make.
Wait. If the airport screws up and you don't get a connecting flight, then
they'll rebook you maybe to a later flight or the next day. Sometimes they'll put you up in a hotel.
But they have to know where the flights are connecting from, don't they? Like, how many connecting flights could there be? We've got like 6 of these. We got to wait on Baltimore. You're telling me they would just leave without you?
Yeah, sometimes they do.
I get if you miss your flight, like you oversleep or you can't get to the airport on time or whatever. I get that. But if there's an actual flight that they know is people are joining,
that it's the airline's problem,
and they leave you.
Yeah, they could. Yeah. I know. And that guy was like, I am not spending the night in Baltimore. And I was like, hey, what's wrong with Baltimore? It's only number 3 in highest crime in the country.
And they can legally do that even though you bought the connecting flight, right? When you buy the flight, you buy and it says you're getting on this one and then you're going to this one. So if the airport screwed up, their problem, right?
Mechanical problem.
Like this guy didn't break the valve.
No, he did not. He was just a victim of circumstance. And I wonder, because I was really trying to coach him along and, tell him exactly, because, his next flight, when they started boarding and when it was going to take off, and I was like, well, you've got 15 minutes to get there before they're boarding. They're not going to cross-check the door and for another half hour. So really, you've got like 45 minutes to get there. And I wondered, did he make his flight?
All right, when we come back, we're going to solve one of life's great mysteries, why you can't wear white after Labor Day.
Some people say you can, but we know the history of it, and we'll discuss that coming up. It is 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel show back at it this afternoon. We get a long weekend to recap the biggest stories in Indy. Let's have a day. 93 WIBC.
Truck drivers and owner-operators, there's never been a better time to team up at Schneider. We have more team-friendly loads than ever, including express delivery parcel freight that offers great miles with no delays to keep the wheels turning. Plus, for a limited time, company team drivers may be eligible for a sign-on bonus of up to $16,000. Owner-operator teams may qualify for a $10,000 incentive. Explore team driver positions at SchneiderJobs.com and search team contracting jobs at SchneiderOwnerOperators.com.
Hey guys, it's Rob for Life Church. We've talked about this quite a bit on this program, but it always, it never hurts to remind you. Thursday, September 18th, there's a big event. Life Church is partnering with Project Rescue for a free breakfast at the Lucas Estates. Yes, that Lucas Estates. Now, Project Rescue, as we've talked about, one of the great organizations that helps stamp out human sex trafficking. And this year, the featured speaker is going to be one young lady who was saved by Project Rescue. Now, Life Church would love the opportunity to meet and welcome you Thursday, September 18th at the Lucas Estates for a free breakfast. You do have to register. Head on Lucas Estates for a free line to do that today. LifeChurchIN.com.
Jeff Chapman here. Your home has a lot of systems. We cover them all. Heating, air conditioning, plumbing, drains, and now electrical. Remember the man for all seasons, and now more reasons. Chapman, ChapmanHeating.com.
Get ready for the Colts Ultimate Tailgate, Sunday, September 7th at 9:30 a.m. We're kicking things off at Slippery Noodle. Start game day with WIBC. Drink specials, games, prizes, and more. Don't miss the party before the party with Neutral and Jack Daniels. Details at WIBC.com.
See you in September. See you.
All right, Casey, let's settle something very important to close out our program today.
Okay.
Well, I've heard this my entire life.
Yeah.
And I've never understood where or why. I guess in the modern era, unless you're talking like brain surgery, if you don't know something, it's just you're too lazy to look it up.
Right.
But
you could just sit there wondering forever
sure.
and ever.
Right. I mean, that's really, remember how it used to be where if you didn't know something, you get into like a spirited debate with people and it could go on for years.
Right.
Now you have no excuse.
You just look it up. That happened quite a few times to me over the weekend. Somebody would ask something and I said, well, we can sit here and wonder forever, or we can just get out our phone and look up the answer.
Okay, so this is a big one. Of course, Labor Day was yesterday, and there's an old saying, you don't wear white after Labor Day.
Correct.
And I've always wondered why.
Where did that originate from?
Is it even a real thing? Who made that up? Why is society incorporated that as a saying, and you have found the answer.
I have found the answer. So this goes back to the same period that actually spawned Labor Day.
Oh.
So it goes back to the Gilded Age.
Oh, yes.
And you may have seen this most likely in paintings or in movies, but the wealthy New York type people during the Gilded Age, when they would summer in their places like Newport, Rhode Island, they would wear these cool white frocks. They didn't really wear bathing suits.
What's a frock?
Yeah, a sundress.
Oh, okay.
Only a pantaloon, perhaps.
What are you English lady?
You know, a pantaloon.
No idea. This is 2025.
Women would cover their bodies, right?
Well,
so
I don't even know what is a pantaloon. Like, what is it?
It's like
you're using the phrase. You must know what it is.
Knickers that go down to your ankle.
Oh, I got you. Okay, very good.
So they would wear these cool white clothing, right, on the beach when they would summer.
Mm-hmm.
But after Labor Day, the season would be over. They would return to the city, so they would pack up all of these white clothing items and then not wear them again until the next year. So that's where the adage of don't wear white after Labor Day came from. However, there are a lot of people who have broken the mold, including Coco Chanel. She said, no, you can wear white whenever you want. So it's kind of like, yeah, it's up to the person to decide.
Oh, yeah. Isn't it weird, too, how when I was growing up, and I know you're a little more seasoned than me, so I just assume
a day or two.
It's the same for you.
Mm-hmm.
Labor Day was like everything evolved around Labor Day. Like that was the end of summer, you know, the school
beginning
sort
of school.
Right. Yeah, there was even the Happenings, I think, had a song, Will I See You in September or Lose You to a Summer Love, right?
Yes.
And now school starts in July.
Before Labor Day.
For many of these year-round school people. And there almost is no really defined summer because the school goes for so long now. And what was once 3 months is maybe a month and a half.
Yeah.
And that's really not even enough to get into any sort of trouble. Well, I mean, like your summer, you were very well behaved.
Of course.
As a teenager. So for those of us who weren't, your summer was really like played out into 3 parts. The first part was plotting. It was like a movie almost in the sense of, here's where I'm going to go. Here's my goal for the summer. My goal is to make bad choices with that girl. And I got, because the summer before the internet, no one knew what took place in the summer.
This is true.
You could deny it. You could outkick your coverage in the summer because the girl could always deny that it ever happened.
Sure, unless you were whispering something on your princess phone to your friends.
Your what?
Yeah, your princess phone.
Oh,
it was the style of telephone.
Oh,
believe it or not, you actually had styles of telephones.
Yeah, no. But I'm saying, like, you had, as a guy, you know, you basically had very, if you were with the girl that was outkicking your coverage, there were very strict ground rules laid out. Like, if you tell people about this, I will just cut it off. So how long do you want this little endeavor to... So your first part of the act was figuring out how you were going to do this. And then the second part, the second month 2, was the main part of the movie. It was the doing of the thing. And
the execution.
And then the third month was basically the winding down of, this thing is going to end. And you really can't tell anybody that it happened because there was part of you who believed, well, maybe it'll happen again next summer. And if you tell anybody, then it will never happen ever again.
All bets are off. Sure.
So anyway, now you have a month. There's no way to get into anything like that. You can't even write a script in a month and a half. So yeah, no, there's no. They have ruined summer, just like they've ruined everything else in our society, Casey. They have ruined the summer.
Everything. But do you think a lot of people enjoy having the longer break during the holidays, during Christmas and then spring break?
What sort of trouble can you get into in Christmas?
Right? It's too cold to get into trouble.
People leave, they're gone. No.
You'd rather have the longer summer?
Just like everything else in our society, it was fine. It was great. It had sustained humanity for decades. And then you just can't leave it alone. It's like the farmland.
Yeah.
It was fine.
It was fine.
The fields were fine.
Stop touching it.
They fed the nation. Just like the summer break. was perfect.
Yeah.
Was perfect.
Well, I don't think that you'll subscribe to the I can't wear white because it's past Labor Day thing, because you seem to be like, whatever's clean, I'm going to go with that.
They have killed summer for the thinking man. There are young dudes out there everywhere who never will have the opportunities because of the shortened summer break.
Yeah.
It's like the rest of our society.
I guess you just got to have your game plan before June. You got to be planting those seeds in April and May.
Month and a half's not enough time, and there's social media.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can't do anything.
No, this is true.
You can't sneak your way to anything anymore.
The sneaking is over.
So I guess the point of this segment was that's why you're not supposed to wear white after Labor Day. Is what a bunch of rich New York aristocrats made this rule?
Yes, correct.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, and put their clothes in a trunk.
Yeah,
and then didn't pull them out again until the next year.
You're very correct, though. I've never subscribed to any of that. I don't. It's whatever, right?
Yeah, do what you
I
want.
don't have enough clothes that I can really dictate colors.
Okay, did you see that over the weekend, 33,000 people walked across the Mackinac Bridge?
Why?
It's the one time of the year that big bridge is open to foot traffic, Labor Day.
Sounds very dangerous.
And people walk across it. Now,
how long does it take to get across?
It's about 5 miles from span to span. They've been doing it since 1958, except for the one exception. You want to guess what year they didn't walk across the bridge?
Oh, what year was it, Casey?
It was 2020, Rob, when you couldn't do anything.
Thank you for the clarification.
This year, that was not a record breaker, but 33,000 people walking across that bridge is still quite a spectacle.
Yeah, that
connects the lower peninsula of Michigan to the upper peninsula.
No, thanks.
Of
I mean,
Michigan.
you're talking what, to walk 5 miles? That's a good hour. I'm not.
Oh, probably more than that.
Yeah, I'm not getting on a bridge for an hour.
It's very high up.
This was all those people.
Not the highest in the country or in the world, but it's one of those nice big suspension bridges that sways in the wind.
As I told the story earlier, I won't even go in my crawl space. So, no, thanks.
Speaking of crawl space, let's go find one. That's going to do it for us today. Thanks, Rob. Thanks, Kevin. Thank you for listening today. This has been Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Your future holds so much potential. The question is, are you planting the right seeds today to make it flourish? At Howard Bailey Financial, we strive to help you create a retirement plan that can adapt to your evolving needs, offering guidance to bring you clarity, confidence, and purpose along the way. Whether you're just